Okay, so we're live, guys. Um, Thank you guys for joining me today. Uh,
Yeah, no worries.
yep. I think we're gonna wait for a few more to jump in. I can see there's about three people in here already, which is good. Um, and uh, and then we'll do some introductions. But before that, like, let me know how was you guys' weekend? Did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah, it
Uh,
was all right.
yeah, yeah, pretty chill.
Did no one did anything crazy or anything? No.
Well, now you put me on the
I
spot. I can't
basically,
think of it.
Yeah, go on, go on. Oh, yo, P, what's good? How are you, man? Got AJ here. What's good, AJ?
yeah, dragged
What?
him from my channel.
Oh, brilliant. Love that. Love that. Welcome, AJ. Welcome, OP. Always good to see you. For Aero, did you do something crazy then?
I not that I can think of.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
like just kind of worked on videos and stuff, but aside from that, and not much in terms
Okay.
of you know.
I'm right now I'm racking my brain. I'm trying to think what I did over the weekend, and I'm drawing a blank. But I know during the week my car did a madness. So like when you stall, you have to restart the car, so you have to switch it off and on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I somehow stalled at some point, and so I go to turn the ignition off on my car and twist the key. So I'm trying to twist the key now, and nothing's happening. I'm thinking, whoa, what's going on? And I kid you not, I could not remove the key from the ignition. I couldn't twist it, turn off the car or anything, and I was stuck there
Oh,
for about 3 hours on the side of the road. Um, I'm calling up my my breakdown cover, and they're telling me, oh, but we don't deal with we don't deal with with key issues. You have to call the auto locksmith. So I'm like, wow. So they passed me through to the auto locksmith, and they're messing me about. One of them hangs up on me for no reason. The second guy I get
oh,
through to, he says he's gonna send someone, then gets back to me 20 minutes later saying, "Oh no, there's no one available." So I'm here stranded in the middle of a roundabout, and and literally I'm like, "How do I get home now?" So I called my breakdown cover. I said, "Listen, like, there's no one coming," and they said, "Oh yeah, we can send recovery, but because it's a key issue, um, you're gonna have to pay it out of pocket." So I'm like, right, cool. So how much is that gonna cost me? Now she's telling me it's 80 quid for the recovery, then it's 20 quid for every mile they have to take me, and then however much it costs them to use their equipment, they're gonna charge that on top of it. So I'm thinking, "Rah, so you guys want to like literally you want to take me out of pocket for like 200 quid?" Um, so in the end, I ended up calling like calling up a few recovery people in the area. One decided to come get me for about 70 quid. I got home, and then I called up the next day for an auto locksmith to come and sort out the locks, the ignition. And turns out the whole barrel where the key goes into had collapsed. So they had
oh.
to, yeah, they had to remove that completely from the steering and replace it with a completely new one. And it cost me like 220 quid, bro. I was gutted.
Can
Damn.
imagine.
Yeah, but it was a nice 2 days off work. I had a nice 2 days off work. I was here with my little boy. Um, so that was cool. But yeah, it was a hassle.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this man has a son. I swear to God.
Yeah, man. He's still only a baby though. The guy's super small. But yeah, cool. So I think we can uh we can start proceedings, right?
Yeah, we got
Um,
6 at the moment, I think.
yeah, we got six. So I think we're gonna start off with some introductions, and we're gonna go from Leo up until deducing. Yeah,
Bro, why
Yeah.
me? Oh my God.
cause you're just there. You're there.
Oh my God.
Go on, start it off for us, Leo. Introduce yourself.
It's just Leo. Good, yeah.
All right, Arrow.
I don't know. There's a bad echo.
Oh yeah, it's Leo. Leo, just mute yourself here and there.
Leo,
Do
bro,
you?
come on, man. Come on, man.
Love you too. Good night.
And I love you, random citizen. But
Oh yes, and go on,
yeah, that's
Arrow.
it. That was my introduction.
You said nothing.
Introduction.
Exactly. Oh, hello, Suki. I'm getting surprised today.
Yeah, it's a good turnout today.
He knows, bro.
Yeah, I don't need to say it.
Exactly.
Okay,
I'm
That's
like that.
horrifying right there.
okay. We Suki, you introduce yourself next, and then we're gonna end off with deducing.
Y'all know who the hell I am. Got it here.
No, we don't.
You definitely do.
I have no idea who you are.
Yeah,
Please tell
man,
me
he
about
a hard
yourself.
lucky. Size bottom.
So
Size bottom. That's all you need to
this
know.
this whole introduction has been pants. So everyone, nobody's literally introduced themselves apart from Leo, who just said, "I'm Leo."
I'm
Let the
Suki,
people.
I
that guy who
Yeah.
likes Saitoshi a lot. I haven't even done a video on him for a whole year, but people still know me as that guy, you know. You
Mm.
know,
bull crap. I don't believe that for
AKA.
a second.
Wait, but
Bull
I've seen a
crap.
video on me doing site in 2025. I have not done one video actually.
That doesn't count. That don't count. That doesn't count. That's like taking a crap at 11:59 and saying I haven't crapped in a year. That come on. Technically, you have your ranking video was 2 months ago.
That was in December, no?
So
Wasn't that in December?
no, to
Oh,
me
so
it
you
says two
mean
months ago.
you mean calendar year?
Oh, I'm talking about
Oh,
just
it
in
was okay.
talking about
It was
2020.
in December, but why does it say 2 months ago if it was 3 months? What? It says it
I'm
was
just
2 months.
talking
I
about
don't get.
this
Bro, Asuka catching
2025.
strays.
Yeah, but also I think your ranking blue lock ship kind of counts because you have signed the thumbnail.
How, man? Hello. I couldn't think of a thumbnail in time, brother.
Oh wow,
Yeah, the
what's happened?
Kara suit.
Hi,
Yeah,
bro. The
bro,
clip when you see the
it was a
guys.
Valentine's video for me.
Oh, what's happened
It
with
was a Valentine's
deducing?
video for me, bro.
Ah, here it is.
Yo, you weren't even in the video, brother.
No, I'm talking about for the
Sorry, my
Valentine's one.
internet just crashed on me.
Oh, correction. No, I think he was
Oh,
shipping. No, the
Oh.
shipping one. Yeah,
did it crash?
when you shipped
Deducing.
fucking Karasu and Aerial together.
That shit was beautiful. No, I
Okay,
think
deducing.
they're on his Chigri's sister too, you know.
Okay, surely it
What's
can't say.
happening?
Hold on.
What the people I shipped you with.
Oh, I didn't watch the video.
I know.
All right, guys, let's let deducing introduce himself,
Oh shit.
making his debut.
Oh,
Yo, deducing, can you hear me? Oh, he
Wonderful introduction.
damn.
might be having some
Yeah,
technical
yes, sir,
issues.
bro. W. Bro,
But
clap him up. Clap him
but
up,
yeah,
boy.
what's good, everyone? It's your boy Raito 6. and welcome along. Yeah,
Ugh,
welcome
why you
along.
say like that?
In it, I said it wrong. I said it wrong.
That's
My bad.
okay.
Welcome
No, you didn't
along.
say it wrong. It's just the way you say
You
six.
stink.
Is it six? Welcome along to
I
the
mean,
locker
you
room.
can't wrong with it.
No, days.
We're here to
Okay.
talk Blue Lock. We have started off. We have started off with some random stuff. But yeah, deducing. Are you good now? Still not good. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, that's I'm
if
legally blind.
deducing, if you click on the settings icon, you might be able to mess about with some stuff there to sort
Oh, that's mad, bro. I felt like that a few weeks ago and I couldn't speak in this shit.
it. Oh, bless. Yeah, he's gonna try and sort it out. Um, but yeah, for now we're gonna get into it anyways. Um, and I'm hoping this time
Uh,
round
Oh no,
did
I'm
you?
gonna try just
Yeah,
reboot it.
we
See
can hear
if
you.
that
We can
works.
hear you. We can hear you
wait,
now.
who? I can't hear him though.
Oh, you can't hear him?
Wait, the dude speak.
Yeah.
Dedu. Wait, who is this guy? Dedu or?
Deducing.
Oh
You
shoot,
remember?
the guy who commented on who be
They
commenting a
do.
lot. He's
Yeah.
Bob,
Yes.
They do.
different person. Dedu, Dedu.
Yes. Deducing analyst. Yo. Okay. Oh, this is mega all over the place right now, but yeah, we're gonna start uh without him. He's gonna sort it out, and hopefully should be
This is one hell of
um
a debut.
in a bit. But yeah, man. So Blue Lock chapter.
Easy.
Ah, here he is. Hopefully this time. But yeah, Blue Lock chapter. What is it? 296. 296, wasn't it?
Still not hearing anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
This is some
Deducing.
introduction.
Deducing. Oh, he can't hear anything. One sec. I'm gonna message him. Let me message him. Yeah, what was the name of the chapter, by the way? Does anyone know? I can't remember.
Shit, I forgot. Because
Yeah,
I
I
know
can't.
it's different in the way. It's ecstatic experience, something like that.
Obviously, I
Okay.
have
Yeah, I think it was SI. Yeah, I think what he said. I
clips
don't
of
remember.
Ecstatic
different
experience,
because of
ecstatic youth experience, something like that.
Okay. Um, one sec. I'm just messaging him.
All right, okay, I have 296 in my website. Yeah, ecstatic experience. That was it.
use this here, do YouTube divided
What?
tab.
But I'm so
Okay.
glad I got to
I'm.
see my boy Ayate.
Oh yeah, he actually played this time round, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or at least we saw a little panel of him in action.
And, what's it? Otoya got his revenge on Nio.
On who?
Neo.
On
That you
Neo. Oh yeah, yeah.
like he stopped Otoya from scoring in the U20 match.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Toya's goal. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
We
nice.
gotta talk about that today.
That was nice. That was nice.
That was
It was a,
But yeah,
yeah, it was a sick goal, but the whole
Hello.
Chris Prince fraud allegations got to stop.
Nah,
what?
Chris ain't a fraud, but we still know that he's looking for Otoya to this day. He never stopped looking.
What is it? Chris is a fraud.
Nah, that's what
Oh my,
there's
what?
so many allegations about that right now, you know.
Okay. Right. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna go through the chapter. Yeah. So it was called Ecstatic Experience, and we start off with seeing Isagi celebrating. And it's the Uber's team watching on. I don't know
Uber's
why
point of view.
Barrow must have come out of the shower. I don't
TNT
know
number
why,
1 billion
because
in the blue.
he had he's already
I think it
like.
was from training.
But why is he training? Because like, oh, the matches have ended.
And I think he was training.
Yeah, but why?
It doesn't matter. Bar trains every day.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
He
You're right.
just trains. You don't need to know why.
You're right. You're right.
That's his literal thing.
Um, but yeah, and Barrow saying that's what he
Incoherence.
expects from Isagi, to be number one.
Oh,
That
Uh, Isagi still feeling himself after finishing first. Um,
Pause.
what do you mean? Oh shit!
gotta be
Oh
careful
bro,
with it.
oh bro. Anyways, Isagi is feeling himself, and then we get this super sick panel of him looking kind of crazy. Um, and yeah, he's just feeling himself. Then we cut to the match, Manshine versus Barcher.
there's an opening concoction.
Barcher is doing his thing as usual, cooking Agi and Nagi, um, with some roulettes and little flicks and tricks. And he goes on to score a goal. Yo, Batcher is actually a sick player, bro. Like he might actually be top five. I think a lot of us are sleeping on Batcher's
Man was
potential,
levitating. Man was levitating in the air, bro.
bro. He can do whatever he wants. He's that good. He
Batra
can
and
do
Otoya
whatever
are
he wants.
damn
This man
parlays.
levitating.
Right. And then Chris Prince and Lavinho decide to jump in. Agi
Why
screaming
so
at
early though?
Nagi.
Why?
You know what they like. Those guys, they like to take the spotlight. Um, Agi screaming at
But they
Rayo
didn't take the
and
spotlight though. That's
Nagi.
kind of weird.
No, but that's what they want to do. That's the reason why they jumped in, isn't it? But yeah, Nagi tries to do another 1-2 with Rayo this time. Um, what's his name? The ninja guy. What's his name? Not Otoya decides to jump in.
Otoya.
Yeah, yeah. Intercepts the ball, goes back upfield, plays combos with Lavinho and Bachira. Bachira does another sick crossing, and then Otoya scores a goal, which is much like the B shot that Bachira scored in the first match. Which is a really nice goal. I really like that goal. Aesthetically, it looks really nice.
Direct shot merchants.
Yeah, direct shot as well. And then yeah, Nagi's. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Nagi's head really. Um, Rayo comes up to him and says, let's believe. No, he says, it sure is hard to get fired up just playing for the team. We're in a serious pinch, and then for some reason he switches and says, "This rules. Let's get excited. If we smash in a goal and turn things around, we'll be the center of the world." Which they won't, because this is the losers game, the loser bracket game. And then he says,
Okay,
if it
bro,
means,
calm down.
bro, it is though. Then he says, if it means becoming the best in the world with you, Reo Mikage, uh, can change as much as he needs to, which for me is kind of a damning statement at this point. Because
No,
isn't the whole
I
because
think
in
Rio has started to realize he's a talented learner.
maybe, but isn't the whole thing that them playing together is stifling them, and what they need to do is literally learn to start playing independent. Because right
I think
now,
they're going to do like what Karasu and Otoya is doing. Like in the second selection, they weren't like depending on each other. They was like doing their own thing and meeting each other at the other side. Of, like, don't even know how to explain it, but it's like Otoya and Karasu in a way.
explain that. I don't quite get.
Alright, so what chapter was it again?
Which one?
Episode
wants me to
Nagi
dissect my
like
information.
25.
Yeah, I
Episode
think
Nagi
so,
chapter
yeah.
25. That's the chapter that
Part
Karasu
2.
and Otoya do their chemical reaction. Part 2 is where they score the goal, but use the whole thing because it shows context of which they're doing it.
Or the goal.
When you were talking about there's performance. Alright, hold up, let me see. Hold up.
Shit. Yo, we lost to the Celtics so many times. God damn!
Holy what?
No, I'm
I
watching.
can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear you. Did
Shit,
you
well,
sing? Sorry. Can you hear
I
us?
think I fixed it then.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, so
Oh, brilliant. Finally.
I
Yeah.
basically just reset everything.
alright.
Okay, nice. You're in now.
Thank you, go ahead, lad.
Before we go
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
actually, why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know who you are.
Nice. Well, yes, I'm go by the online name Deducing Analyst, or Dedu for short, if you can't speak properly or you're too lazy to. I run a channel kind of separate to BLUELOCK in the SCD community, or smart character debating, or in layman's terms, the nerd people, essentially. But recently I'm getting into making BLUELOCK content for my own viewers and kind of segueing into that type of content. And I hope to kind of expand more from there. And that's about it.
Yeah, brilliant. Yours is actually the best introduction we've had all night. All these motherfuckers here have been lazy in their
Damn.
introductions. They've all been lazy in their introductions. But yeah, man, welcome into the locker
Thanks.
room. Get your boots on. We about to go on a run. Um, but yeah, we
straight up your
just
ass after we're done with this.
we just actually just went through the chapter.
Right.
And yeah, what were your thoughts? Have you read it yet?
Yeah, I read it when Aero dropped it in the server.
Oh, nice.
All I can say is I am literally isagi levels of prediction. I knew basically all of this was happening for ages ago. Not to toot my own horn.
And you
Cool.
didn't warn us? Come on, man. Like,
This motherfucker, bro.
So what did you predict? What was right?
Chigiri scoring the opening goal, because
Ooh.
Rayo and Nagi were going to continue being useless.
Homie, we all thought about that. We thought
Yeah,
maybe that Nagi about to score a hat trick, bro. Yeah, I know.
of course Nagi's not going to score a hat trick.
Nah,
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
never in the
impossible.
cards for me, really.
Yeah, you can look at it. Yeah, you can look at Ario and Suki over there, like they both screaming at the screen right now.
bitch, what? I never said Nagi was scoring a hat trick.
I actually thought he might.
You're pushing so.
Nah, don't do that
Listen,
now.
listen,
Whoa,
listen.
nah.
No, Leo. I get. Listen,
Nah.
Leo. I get you're upset that your microphone hasn't come in yet, but don't start slandering us. We knew it was never happening.
Nah, don't even do that. Don't do that. No, nah. Don't even do that.
Show me where I mentioned show me where I said Nagi was scoring a hat trick, please.
Just because he has thumbnails for it doesn't mean he actually says it. Watch the fucking video before you see
Yeah, this
it.
nigga Suki, bro.
I have a thumbnail that has the 3-in-1 using the art of the fan art thing that Ego Sway made as for a thumbnail. But in the video, if you watch it, which you probably didn't, knowing you, Leo.
Mad.
Oh dear God.
Drama.
Right, bro. Yeah.
Jump this note to make him boy tonight. Give me a boom boom. Give me a boom boom.
Alright, cool. But yeah, so you predicted that Chigi will score. Actually, I never predicted Chigi will score. So,
I
but
think that was the more obvious one, to be fair.
Yeah.
No
And
offense.
that's why? Like, why did you not believe he would
because
score?
I thought it was gonna be a Nagi hat trick.
Hell no. Shiri's too
Really?
bad.
Yeah, I did.
Stop this
I
man.
did, honestly.
I can see the logic behind that, definitely. I just
But yeah,
didn't think the story would go that way.
When it
Like,
comes to
but
predictions, man, I'm
did
shit.
it didn't make
If it
sense
went that
though.
way, people.
It didn't make sense though. Like a Nagi hat trick off of the rip. Like,
But Nagi's like that when it comes to talent.
He
not
could.
really.
Shiri's like not gonna sit by and watch
If
Nagi
if
do a hat trick. That's
if
the
he
thing.
had if he had the motivation, he should be able to.
Here's the thing though.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like if
Yeah.
any character scoring a hat trick would be boring. Cause like the purpose of them scoring a hat trick would be to like demonstrate like an awakening, right? Like
Yeah.
even Shido couldn't score a hat trick with size help in the U20 game. So, and if anyone was
yeah,
going to, it would be him to score it. But like,
yeah,
in the purpose of
Shido
like
was only
them
on the-
scoring a hat trick, they'd have to have a goal that surpassed their previous one every single time,
Hmm.
right? So like Nagi would have had to score a goal that surpassed. He would have had to score a very good first goal because it would have been the first goal since his awakening. He would have had to score a goal that's better the second time, and then better the third time. Because if he didn't do that, it would just get boring. Like
Yeah,
it
but
did show
I
the first
I
goal.
mean, Rin didn't have any special goal.
I
Like,
I
We didn't
never
see, but we didn't see Adrian's first two goals. We only
but
saw
that's
the
the
final
thing.
one.
I never expected us to see this match in the first place. I thought we was just gonna cut to the last goal, if I'm to be honest.
There, we have Anime Greenlee complaining like a bitch about the rankings.
I've
Well,
not
I
watched
think a summary
the
of
video.
oh, sorry.
What'd you
I
say,
thought a
Didi?
summary of the game. I was gonna say like I thought a summary of the game would be pretty obvious. Like Nagi and Ray are like the only two characters other than the rankings that we've got some form of cliffhanger for. So it'd be like something that would actually like get some good revenue as well. It
Yeah,
has the aura of
but
like mystery of like what's going to happen to Nagi and Rio. Is one going to get dropped? Is one going to awaken? Are both going to awaken? Who knows?
You know
yeah,
what
that's
sucks
true.
though? Like what
Yeah.
sucks a lot. Well, it's not suck. It's just really funny. Ryo's entire plan then, like the plan that everyone was like, "What is Ryo's plan?" His entire plan going into it was like, "Nagi, let's not suck." Like that was his plan. His literal plan going into this game was Nagi, let's not suck. If we suck, we lose. And he's like, I could work with that. Like, legitimately, that was his plan. Because he literally says, well, there goes that plan. Let's try something different. He literally says, let's just try something different. So his original plan was to just work with the team and not suck. But when he realized that he was sucking, he's like, oh, can't do that
no, I
anymore.
think no. What is this
It
word
was
with sucking, bro? Hold on.
it was legitimate. It was legitimately it. Like, oh, well, we suck at this game. Let's just try and not suck next time. Okay. And then now they're gonna do it.
I'm saying
How many
suck,
times has
bro.
Bro
Oh my.
said suck in the past 2 minutes?
Leo, what are you, 5? Seriously, bro. You know what I'm implying.
I think Rayo's plan kind of makes sense
Bro,
for his
knowing you,
character.
no.
If you think about it,
Well, it makes
What'd you
sense,
say?
sure. It's just like it's not
well,
very
you
like
don't want
interesting.
anything
Okay, let me
out
stop
of
with
character.
antics.
Well, you don't want anything really too out of character. Like
No,
other
obviously.
than his super goals, what really makes Nagi that interesting, other than those moments, is character kind of plain. So really, it's not like every character is built to be super enjoyable as a whole, holistically. They've just got those certain aspects. And one aspect of Nagi and Rayo is a very key one. It's that they're very new to football. They don't have that level of like tactical aptitude that the more experienced players have. So going in there thinking like let's just not suck seems very obvious because both of them got football so easily they never really had to resort to cunning. Like their talent carried them most of the way there. So now in this new environment where they can't do that, I'd say they don't really have that level of complex thinking to be able to formulate more complicated plans like that.
The thing is, though, is that while they might be new to football in terms of like the sport, like actually playing, Rayo likely did a lot of research. Like they might not have a lot of like in-game experience, but Rayo likely did a lot of research before starting. Like
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
put
like an
he
assumption.
wouldn't
yeah, he
put
wouldn't
together
think
a
about that.
team with no knowledge at all. Like he knows what like Rayo may not know like have a lot of game experience, but I guarantee you he knows like the terms of like he knew what a roulette was. You're not gonna know what a roulette is unless you've done a little bit of research into the sport of like what exactly to do. Like
I mean, who's into football that hasn't watched like a skills compilation?
well, the thing is that Rayo wasn't into football by him normally. He got into it very very late. But that doesn't. But he likely
Yeah,
learned.
the thing
Like
is that's just like an assumption. Like Rayo not having that level of thinking to formulate more complex plans kind of goes against that. It can prove that he didn't do that level of research because that's a feat that he's displayed, which is more reliable than just an assumption that says, "Oh, well, maybe he did because it sounds right." It obviously like proves that he didn't because he didn't have that level of flexibility at the time.
but the context of like people assuming oh Rayo has a plan is like a plan for them to awaken. This was just a plan for them to survive by working with the team. So everyone was like, oh, it's gonna be there's gonna be some like the plan that he's mentioning is for Nagi and him to awaken rather than just have a plan to survive the NEL. That was the context of like that happening, you know? If that makes sense?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. I just don't really think they'd have that level of thinking at this point, especially Nagi. When you think
Well, you
about
could
it,
also
football
assume
to
they
them.
have very tactical players on their team. Like you have Chris Prince who knows a lot, and Agi. Like it wouldn't be
Yeah, I
too strange
understand
if he.
Agi. Like, but obviously Rayo doesn't want to listen to Agi. It's proven in the chapter. He's just literally and I quote, like, "Shut up, Agi." Like, obviously
Yeah,
Rayo
probably.
doesn't want anything to really do with him. It's probably out of jealous spite, if anything.
Yeah, probably.
So that make the really shallow thinking more believable because Rayo is like probably not as smart of a footballer as Agi is, and considering Rayo isn't listening to Agi at all, he doesn't have that kind of insight to draw off. In the first election, he was his team's like big brain in that sense. In the second selection, he was kind of in just a trio with Kunigami and Chigiri, no real sense of one leader over the other. In the third selection, he kind of played like a background role until he developed his chameleon style. During the U20 game, he just basically followed Ego's orders to mark Shido and did it that way. And now at Manshine, he's obviously, from what I've stated before, not really had a position where he's a leader in a complex environment. Because obviously, the first selection hardly had any real tactical complexity to it. It was just, turning 0 into 1 with a main striker, which in that sense was the Reo, Nagi, and Zantetsu trio. The team kind of revolved around them and didn't really need anything like that. And obviously, Reo played a more passive role in every other arc up until now. So it makes sense that he hasn't got that experience to actually apply even any knowledge that he may have. So I feel like just an accumulation of his experiences up to this point really show that shallow level of thinking as something that Rayo would naturally go to instead of a more like complex idea that someone like Isagi or more of the experienced players would possess, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. I see.
I just
See.
think the general consensus though was expecting something insane from Rao himself, like the theory of that, rather
I
than
think that'll come. I think that'll come next chapter. I think Rayo will
yeah.
cook next chapter.
Yeah. It seems like he's getting
Do we all have
fired
our own
up.
theories? Do we all have our own theories
I've
as to
got
what?
mine set in stone.
Okay, okay. Well, we should definitely talk about them once we get through everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I actually, I never actually thought about the, how not how smart, but how much of a plan Rayo was gonna implement in this game. I actually thought he had the solution straight away when he spoke to Nagi in the changing room in a previous game. Um, for me, the the whole let's just play with the team thing. I understand how he's come to that conclusion, but
Hmm.
I was always under the impression that the best thing for them to do was for them to play independently of each other, not codependently. And I think it seems that every plan that they come up with is to continue codependently. But the only way now for that to work is if Rayo challenges Nagi,
Yeah.
with his passing and with his plays, because Nagi's thought process is always like, oh Rayo, you always know where to put it. That sounds so wrong. Rayo, you always know. I don't know how to say that in like a non.
We know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Just
So
don't take
I
it that way.
so I think the next evolution can only come from Rayo first of all evolving
Hmm.
and deciding to challenge Nagi, and
Yeah.
Nagi has to respond to that. Because
Yeah.
even in the goal Nagi scored, the 5-shot revolver. Even
Six.
then, that was when Rayo first unlocked his metavision, but it wasn't a challenge to Nagi. The challenge for Nagi was going up against Isagi.
Keep cooking.
Oh, well, that's basically it. That's as far
Oh,
as I go.
That is all I
Yeah.
have.
this isn't Arrow, bro. This isn't like some. I forgot. Oh,
Yeah, I can't go in depth like that, man. No, that's as shallow as my thought process goes.
No, I think it makes sense. I definitely agree with most of that, actually.
What do you think, Errol?
Well, I have my own theory as to what I think is gonna happen for the awakening or like the next chapter. Um,
Oh, okay,
I do agree with you. I do think Ryo has to score for awaken first, but I think he's gonna
Hmm.
do that by scoring.
okay,
Like
okay.
the
Oh yeah,
specifics of the
yeah.
goal
So
itself are
you you you've
iffy.
you've you've released the video in it,
Yeah,
the the Kaiser Impact one.
yeah,
Yeah.
The chameleon impact.
yeah.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I think, yeah, 50-50. I think it has a chance to come true just because the logic lines up with what Royale can do. Just depends on if that's the
Yeah.
route that they take.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
You
say
know?
it's a feasible. It's something feasible for Rail to pull off.
Yeah. Like, here's what pisses me off a lot though, is that people leave a comment without watching the video first. Like,
Yeah.
if I say Royale can do something, right? And you comment, no, he can't because of XYZ. But then I address X, Y, and Z. Like that's what pisses me off because I address a point that knocks off the thing, and if you just watch the video before you comment, then you would understand why that is. But
Hmm.
they don't. Like,
It's just short attention span.
yeah. Well, not even. I even mentioned it in a TikTok. Like, I did a whole TikTok why it's possible for him to do this, and every comment, Urayo can't do it because he doesn't have the physical abilities. He can't copy physical abilities. He can't copy physical abilities. Okay, he can't. But Urayo, you're not really understanding how good Rail's physique is now.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. Even
Like,
before the Manshine training.
jacked.
yeah. Like, the whole thing with Rail and his physique is that, sure, he can't copy physical weapons like Aryu's height or Chigity's sprinting, right?
Oh,
But
funny.
Chigity's sprinting is because of his legs, which is a literal genetic deformity. Not
Hmm.
deformity. It's a I don't know if mutation's the right. It's like it's built. His legs are literally built different.
Abnormality.
Abnormality. Thank you. That's the right word. Audi was just naturally tall as shit, right? Like that's why their weapons are exclusive to them. But the Kaiser Impact was a weapon created because Kaiser was able to leverage all of his body weight into his swing.
He worked hard.
That's
Hmm.
how it works. You can argue whether or not you think his natural faster swing speed is genetic or not, but
Hmm.
from the dialogue that's mentioned, even by Noah Noah, it's not that he couldn't do it. It's just that at his point in his life, Kaiser surpasses him and probably always will. Because, like Kunigami mentioned, if you train and build muscles in the wrong area, you're going to ruin your existing specs. If
Yeah.
Noah Noah trained to shoot like Kaiser, he probably could, but he's going to ruin his already existing style and specs. So there's no
Yeah.
point in him doing that. So
Yeah, makes total sense.
yeah. But when it
Yeah.
comes to Rayo, like Rayo's entire style is copying people. So to say
Yeah.
that he can't do it, here's all the evidence he can. Like when it comes to Rayo copying people, no one does it better than Rayo in series. That's just how
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
definitely.
And it bugs me that no one pays attention enough to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth or
So
listen
so
to the
what
points I'm making.
so what do you say to this arrow? What Zabuza saying here, where he says you give Rayo too much credit, he wouldn't even think of copying Kaiser in the first place.
You say I
I
give Rayo too much
I've
credit.
got an
I
answer
wouldn't
for
say
that as
that.
well.
I wouldn't say that. Like Rayo's entire style when he went to Munchen City. Let me give you the exact dialogue of what he said when Chris Prince asked him what the ideal version of himself could be.
Hmm.
Um, it was
Yeah,
chapter 275 where he gets asked that question. He says, "The world's best is inside you. How would your ideal Royal Mikage answer? What kind of player do you want to be?" And he says, "I want to be the sort of striker who controls the field by transforming at will to score goals. I don't want to be reliant on anyone anymore. I want the power to become the world's best on my own." Right? And
Hmm.
then when Chris Prince elaborates and says, like, what's your ideal, tell me your ideal play style in as much detail as possible. Um, the best play style I can imagine right now is a combination of Sai and Rin Itoshi. I'm good at imitating plays, and out of all of the plays I can see and imitate, a combination of those two is the most likely to lead to goals. Are you not telling me that Kaiser's shooting wouldn't surpass Rin? Because that's all he uses Rin for. Well, he uses Rin for passing as well, but he can't copy Sai's passing. Or he hasn't been shown to copy Sai's like long passing. He's been shown to copy Rin's oppressive passing, but he hasn't been shown to copy Sai's. Like he has Sai's dribbling, Rin's passing, and his scoring. Are you not telling me that Kaiser's scoring wouldn't be a level up? Right? Like,
I think that's more dependent on actually. I'm not trying to negate any of Rayo's achievements physically, but it also depends on if Rayo can pull off a Kaiser impact better than he can pull off one of Rin's curling shots. Because if you think about it, they're both very different shooting styles. Rin
of
is
course.
heavily based on more curve and ball control,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm
whereas
not
Kaiser
saying.
is I'm going to whack on it. Is Kaiser's just I'm going to whack it as hard as possible, and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. But
Yeah, I'm not.
Kaiser Impact has such great accuracy because of the Predator Eyes, and
Of
Rayo
course, yeah,
hasn't shown to possess this. And
yeah.
I don't think he can pull off a swing speed as fast as Kaiser. Because obviously,
Obviously,
Kaiser has
again,
conditioned his legs for that over
yeah.
an
Again,
extensive period of time.
I addressed
So,
all those points in the video I had made. So the whole thing is that the argument I'm making is not because he copied Ring, he would copy Kaiser. It's because when it comes to his ideal style, he says a combination of those two would lead to goals, and he is using Ring for scoring those goals. He's not using Sai, he's using Ring. So wouldn't copying Kaiser take over the shooting aspect because the shooting aspect is drastically better than Rain's?
Hmm.
At least when it
see,
comes to relating the originals.
I would think so.
see, I mean, that would come down to, again, what Rayo can imitate better.
Yeah.
Because,
Again,
again, they're two very
obviously.
different style of shots. Because what you're comparing is Kaiser's Kaiser impact and Rin's curling shots. What
They're
you should
different.
be
Yes, of
comparing
course.
is more so Rayo's curling shot versus Rayo's Kaiser impact.
Of
Is
course. Yeah.
his curling shot going to be better than his Kaiser impact? And that's entirely dependent on Rayo's build at the moment. He would have trained under Chris Prince to become an ideal combination of Sai and Rin. So his body would be more conditioned to pulling off these high ball control curling style of shots
Yeah.
because he'd never interacted with Kaiser before. He never saw the Kaiser impact. So
Yeah.
there's a
Well, he has.
possibility it could be
Yeah.
more beneficial for him to actually continue pursuing this more ball control based route, which he has already practiced extensively, rather than going for something entirely new that's against what he's trained for, and therefore would inevitably actually turn out as a worse shot if he copies the Kaiser Impact than if he was to copy one of Rin's curling shots. Like, I'm not saying that is a guarantee, it's just a possibility to note.
No, I understand your point there, but in terms of the Kaiser Impact, he's not copying the physique, he's copying the technique that Kaiser uses, right? The Kaiser Impact, or even just the rapid swing speed, his leg, if you want to consider that exclusive to Kaiser as a genetic mutation, you can, right? But he's not copying the Kaiser Impact in terms of the physique. Or the swing speed. He's copying in terms of the technique that Kaiser does, right? Let's assume that Kaiser's swing speed, right, is 120% of a normal person's, right?
Right.
So his swing speed's 20% faster. That in itself is fast, right? But there are conditions that Kaiser learned to incorporate into his formula that allows him to increase his speed by another 20%, right? And in my video, I list out Kaiser's goal scoring formula as Metavision times the product of Predator Eye times rapid swing speed with an asterisk, right? That asterisk is what is considered to be a conditional element. That conditional element is something that he could leave out, and it wouldn't impact the Kaiser Impact scoring formula to a significant degree. It just would increase. It would just put it closest to 100% efficiency as possible. And that
Yeah.
conditional element is aerial activation, right? Every time we see Kaiser shoot the Kaiser Impact to where it moves the fastest it can, it was done when he's kicking the ball while in the air.
Yeah.
So because he's in the air, he can literally leverage his, rather than just like planting your foot and using like your lower body, like your hips and then your leg muscles, he's using his entire upper body as well. He's literally leveraging his arms, shoulders, back, spine, and lower body as well, all the muscles I already mentioned, into the swing to get that an extra 20% increase. So
Mm.
by doing that, and Royals, by the way, is the most balanced character in the series. Legitimately, his stats are the most balanced across the board. His main weapon is dexterity that allows him to copy people. So when it comes to balancing himself in the air, he should be one of the only other people who could replicate the Kaiser Impact that way. And we've seen him hit bullet shots before. Like he hit a bullet pass to Nagi in the Munchen game. And he's seen the Kaiser Impact firsthand, and he has all of the other videos he could watch to get the idea of that. And I'm not saying it would be as fast as the Kaiser Impact or as powerful, but it would be faster and more powerful than his normal shooting. And I think it's definitely something that would add to his arsenal and boost his value, considering he would be copying another new generation 11. And considering like Kaiser's really been relying on the Magnus, I feel like showing the world that, yo, I can copy what he can too. Not as well, but I can do what he can. Already puts your name and gives you the reason for an increased value. Plus, it would be if he scores a goal, it would be the reason for Nagi awakening. Like I laid out a whole situation. I don't know if anyone else wants to go, but I laid out the whole situation of how I think next chapter is going to go that would allow for Raito to score a goal. Also, Curvis, you say your only issue when a Kaiser Impact that is not as fast or powerful not be a Kaiser Impact. No, because he's still getting the increased speed that Kaiser's getting. Like Kaiser has a natural 20% increase, let's say. But by including the aerial activation condition, Kaiser gets another 20% on top of it. So he's adding 120 plus 20%. Rayo would have 100 and add 20% because it's his physique, not Kaiser's. So it's still faster and more powerful than anything normal.
Yeah.
But it's not as fast or powerful as the normal Kaiser Impact. That's why it's a copy of the Kaiser Impact. Like Green's Travella shot that he copied, it's not Rin's Travella shot. It's a copy of Rin's Travella shot. Even Gagamaru considers it. But we still call it a copy of Rin's Travella shot. So this would be a copy of the Kaiser Impact. You know?
Hmm.
But yeah, if anyone else wants to go and give their theories, I'll wait. I'll give the situation unless you want me to go now. I don't care. It's up to you guys.
Well, I've
If anyone
got a
has a
little
theory.
thing to add.
Yeah,
Is
go ahead.
obviously part of Kaiser's Kaiser Impact formula is obviously one of them is Predatorize, which is obviously something Rayo doesn't have.
Yeah, and
Is
that comes into
how would
the situation I present. So I can address it now if it makes it easier.
just basically Rayo unlocks Predatorize, bangs in the Kaiser Impact. Nagi's like, "Holy crap, here we go!" and then
No,
scores a super.
that's not. So the reason he couldn't ever awaken Predatorize is because Predatorize is limited to restrictive type egoists,
Rails are well,
and Rayo is not a restrictive type. So, um, when it comes to the situation that would allow for Rayo to score, I'll read you through how I described it. I read it to Suki, the other day, and this is what it would be. So, it would begin with Munchen City getting possession of the ball, right? And it would involve Rayo and Nagi exchanging passes down the field. However, they would begin to push towards um the left side. Now, the reason they would push towards the left side is because that's where Chigiri likes to score from, and it would cause Barca to dictate their attention over to the left side because they would have to worry about now Nagi and Rayo linking up on the left side, but also Chigiri because Rayo just assisted Chigiri. They have to be wary of a pass there, right?
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to another aspect would be as they begin to go that way, Chris Prince would start rushing down like towards the middle. It'd be to the right of them, but it'd be towards the middle, right?
Half-size.
As they're doing this is likely because Chris Prince says it's he wants to take the center stage. It's the Masters show. He wants to show off what he can do as well. So he's getting to a position that he could get a goal as well. While this would happen, Rayo would send a pass to Nagi that Nagi would not send back and instead begin to dribble himself like he did in Ubers, using his traps to move forward down the pitch. This would force essentially all of Barch's attention to the left side of the field. As he's doing this, Rayo would slip behind Chris Prince in the same way that Isagi does and get to an open spot he could score from. This would also mirror Nagi and Rayo's very first game in the episode Nagi Side Story where they ever played together, where Rayo told Nagi to keep his eyes on him.
Nice
to which Nagi would see Rayo slipping behind Chris Prince, which would also mirror how Isagi did to Barou in the second selection, where Nagi noticed him where no one else could. Nagi would then chip a pass over Chris Prince over to Rayo, who has now reactivated Metavision and could not only see everyone's location on the pitch, but also the meta point that would allow for him to score. From. Now, we see Kaiser use Predatori in two ways when it comes to goal scoring. He either focuses on the goal box itself or gaps in an opposing person's block. But because Rayo is now to a point where there's nobody looking at him, no one's marking him, no one sees him, because they're all focused on Nagi, Chigiri, and Chris on the left side, Predatori isn't necessary. He doesn't need Predator anymore because there's no situation that requires it. There's no one on him. But let's just assume, right,
so
that
he would be
Atoya
open,
sees
rather.
him, like last time. Yeah, he would be open. But let's
Right.
assume that Atoya sees him, right, like last time. Atoya sees him like last time and tries to intercept the pass. Rayo with Metavision would be able to see this coming. Even then, Rayo would need to find a way to get a goal or do something with this final pass that would prevent Atoya from coming to get the ball. And it would mirror the situation with Kaiser and Bachara in the very first game. Rayo would stop Atoya from moving forward with his hand, and as the ball drops, he would then use Atoya as a crutch to get himself into the air to then copy the Kaiser impact. He has Atoya as a crutch now, so not only can he leverage his entire body, but he's also using Atoya for support. So he has even more leverage, giving him extra strength and extra swing speed because he's using his entire body in the same way that Kaiser does. It wouldn't be as fast or as powerful, but because it's a direct shot, copying the Kaiser impact, it would be too fast and too quick for the goalkeeper to predict, scoring the goal. This would allow for Raito to continue his striker mode, right? That we've all wanted him to see, but it would also awaken Nagi's ego again, which Nagi's ego is pretty much just involved to pursuing the dreams and his desires with people who he wants to. Like, every time we see him awaken or do something, it's by pursuing his dreams of being the best in the world with those who he wants to play with. It happened with Isagi. It happened when he was with Barou and Chigiri, surpassing Karasu and Otoya. Like, that's the situation that allows him to awaken his ego. And I know Zabuza comments, oh, he doesn't know what Metavision is. He doesn't need to know what Metavision is to activate it. He didn't know what Metavision was when he first activated it. Assuming this situation happens, he could just reflexively activate it again and be like, I can see everything now. This is the perfect spot for me to run to. There's so many parallels that tie into Nagi's awakening, but also Raito and the situation that both of them could exist in that allowed for them to awaken together. That I feel like this is a very certain situation that could happen. It simplifies Kaiser's goal scoring formula down to the core elements that it has that Raito also has. Like, the only thing he needs is Predator Eye to make their situation different, along with the rapid swing speed. But everything else in their goal scoring formula, if this situation presents itself how I just described it, is the exact same. They have Metavision, they both have the swing speed, and they have the aerial element. Kaiser's swing speed's faster, sure, but given the current situation, Predator Eye isn't necessary. And Kaiser's swing speed's faster, sure, but with Otoya as a crutch, Raito can get even more power and leverage. That's my theory.
So essentially, he drives a Kaiser impact of like similar proportions, but has a different methodology for it.
Yes, similar proportions, but it's very conditional, which is why it's not something he could use all the time. It's very situational, very conditional. But with refinement, it's something that Raito could learn to use in the future. You could think of it like Bado's sliding goal in the U20 game. That goal was considered to be irreproducible, but it still generated positive results that weren't considered to be negative. Also, Kerbis, restrictive and freedom type of egos present themselves in the situations of where characters evolve and thrive best in. So for Kaiser and like Kunigami, for example, restrictive egos are those who like are given a set rule or situation and they evolve by breaking free of those constrictions. Raito isn't necessarily the restrictive type because while you could present it as such, he is a freedom type because he's given the choice to evolve himself. Like, he has for in the episode Nagi's side story, I wouldn't necessarily consider it a restriction that he's placed with Ikiguri and Shido despite the fact that he doesn't want to. It's more of a choice of he could work to support them, but he's instead choosing to evolve of his own free will. He's choosing to evolve and pursue his own challenge for himself. He could work with Nagi still, but he instead has the choice and the freedom to pursue his own development.
But didn't Rayo develop his chameleon style in restriction?
No, he evolved it in freedom by choosing to awaken himself. He chose to not support Nagi, and instead he was not, because he's never forced. Like, the thing is, he's never forced to support Nagi. He just did it of his own choice. But now he's choosing something else, and that's what freedom type players do best in, having multiple options.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like with Rin and Kaiser, Isagi gave them the pressure of losing everything, but also pressure of challenge. And like for Kaiser, the restriction was given by him losing everything. He's forced into the situation of if he does nothing, he's gonna lose everything. So he's forced to act to do something. Rayo was never forced into doing something. He did it of his own free will. He could have easily gone and passed to Nagi to support him when he awakened his chameleon style, but he chose otherwise. In Munchen City, he awakened his striker mode of his chameleon style and awakened again because he had the choice to do so. What is the ideal you want to do? So out of everything you could do, what is the ideal you choose to do? And he has that choice for himself. Also, Kaiser's weird. Kaiser thrives in both freedom and restriction. I think he thrives in freedom but awakens in restriction. That's
Yeah, sounds about right.
Kaiser's he's a curious case because he's got both the metavision and predator eye,
yeah. But
and I think
Metavision is
he's
more talented learners, and Predator has to restrictive egos.
oh, is it? So they're not. It's not a talented learner, and
No,
what's the
it's
other
not
one?
Genius.
Flipping
genius.
genius.
Yeah, it's not that.
Really? So then that's where I've been going wrong all this time. Okay, so you guys think that Rayo's scoring next in the next chapter, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's. Do you think we get more than that goal? Do you think we get the conclusion of the game in the next chapter?
2 chapters.
2 chapters.
Yeah, I'd say 2. We'll get
Dedicate
one
something to
covering
Rayo, and then dedicate
Rayo.
like
Yeah.
like the only
Next
reason we got
chapter.
to this one chapter was because of like how quick it's being built up. Like
Mhm.
Bachata scored, we got some from Isagi, but then Bachata scored like 2 pages after,
Yeah.
and then
Mhm.
afterwards when the Master struck down, it was like almost instantaneously, and then we went into Otoya who scored. Like there's nothing of substance between the 2 goals. This would be something of substance.
Mhm. So in both your theories, there's no chance Nagi doesn't make it, right?
I think he
No,
needs
if
some
Nagi
sort
scores, he's
of
making it.
catalyst.
If Nagi doesn't score, he's still surviving.
Okay, what did you
He's not.
say? Did you see?
Hmm. Well, I'm pretty sure in this chapter, Nagi said like something at least an assist would do to keep him up.
Yeah,
Mhm.
even in the
No,
system.
I think he'll score. But if he doesn't, I can't really see anybody below getting a higher bid than him, even if Nagi goes down a bit. So I think
Mhm.
that like monologue from Nagi was a little bit misleading. Excuse me. But I do think he'll score, but he'll need like a catalyst from like Rayo scoring in order to awaken. So what I think is that next chapter we're going to get Rayo scoring and awakening, with the end part just being like a cliffhanger for Nagi's own evolution, and then the next chapter will cover Nagi's evolution and then his final goal to win the game, and then maybe end off with the rankings.
So in no world, Manchine lose this game.
No, it's
There's
probably
a chance.
possible.
There's a chance they do.
Okay.
But there's
I
no
just
chance
think,
Nagi gets kicked out.
Okay. Right.
yeah,
I don't know. I
Manshine
don't want to speak for you.
Manshine has far more substance than Barcher at the moment, so they're probably more likely to win overall.
Yeah. To be fair, I never once thought that Nagi would ever be kicked out, but I just know that a lot of people do think it could happen. So I just wanted to gauge where you guys are
Most
with
people
that.
that's sorry, you go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, like, from most people I've interacted with that have said one or the other will go down, most people have been saying Rayo will, and that Rayo will go down to set stakes into the show. And basically, they say, like, if Rayo goes down, it sets stakes in, like something that Kunigami ruined with the wild card, really. It shows that big characters, like main characters, can and will be kicked off if need be. And
Hmm.
they also believe that it will also impact the story itself, and that will lead to Nagi's evolution rather than like Rayo scoring, for example. So I
Yeah,
haven't really
but
seen too many people saying Nagi will go. It's usually they say Rayo will.
Okay.
can I address what Kerbis is saying in the chat because he's very mistaken on what the ego types are. Kerbis.
Which
So,
one?
when he mentions about like Rayo's awakening, he says also again Rayo has only evolved in restriction. It was like 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
Kerbis, I'm gonna explain this to you again, right? When it comes to Rayo awakening, you say right here in the thing, it's gonna pull up right here. He says himself that he could just continue doing what he wants, and if he gets kicked out, he could just be a rich kid, but that would be it. Yes, he has options. That's the whole point of freedom type egos, having the options and being able to choose for yourself what you want to do. Rayo could just choose to give up and go back to whatever because he has options. He has the options to do so.
Yeah, he's
Right?
an heir to a massive company.
Someone like Kaiser doesn't. That's why he's a restricted type ego. Kaiser doesn't have those options. That's what that's restrictive and freedom is that. Rayo has the option to choose what he wants to do based on his situation as a player. That's what it means.
Okay.
Not
And
everyone has options. No.
I think what it is that I think what he's saying is like correct on some degree. Like we do have options. Like you can choose to give up. Even in like Rin's situation, he could just choose, nah, screw it. But he doesn't. I think restrictive and freedom type egos link to how the individual perceives their situation. Like for example, Rin does have the option that when he was obviously on the verge of losing everything, he could have chosen to just give up and he could have chosen to not. Looking at it objectively like that, there is a choice. But what you have to do is kind of understand the character's emotions and kind of immerse yourself into it and understand what is Rin thinking in this situation. You have to look at it more subjectively. Like, Rin doesn't want to lose everything. He doesn't want to give up. He sees this as everything. Like, football is destruction to him, as he showed in the second selection. A football field is a battleground, and obviously everybody is fighting for their lives. So obviously, under what Rin perceives his situation to be, this is essentially life or death. Therefore, that brings out his restrictive ego that thrives when he perceives a situation to be restrictive. That's what leads to his awakening. So it's not really looking at it objectively of just everybody has a choice. It's more so how that individual character perceives their current situation. And that leads to them either thriving in restrictive or freedom situations.
Yeah.
And Nagi, is he restrictive or freedom?
Freedom. Nagi's freedom based.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes
Because
sense.
it comes down to like what his trapping can do as well. Like his trapping, if he has options to do whatever he wants to with trapping. It also comes down to their play style, right? Like for example, like Barou is a restrictive egoist, right? But he's a restrictive egoist because of like when things are set in stone for him, he wants to be able to create his own future. But that doesn't make him a freedom type because he wants to do things his way. He likes it's better when there is situations in place for him to then destroy
Exactly.
and
That's
create his
what
own.
I said
That's
earlier about their
yeah,
perception of
breaking through
the
the restriction.
situation.
Yeah, but we even see like in the very first selection, where I was like, "Wait, are Nagi and I losing?" Because he's pressured by the restriction that Raichi, Isagi, and the rest of Team V are causing him, which causes him to panic. That he's not thriving in those situations.
Yeah, he was mentally shutting down, and it took
Right? Nagi isn't shutting down because of
Nagi to
freedom.
pick him back.
Nagi isn't shutting down inside of freedom because it's freedom. That's not how that's working. He's shutting down under freedom because he doesn't understand his own ego and what motivates him to do stuff. Like those are still very different things. Like your freedom and restrictive are your environment where you thrive best.
Yeah.
Right? Genius and talented learners, that is your play style. When you put them together, that is your ego type. And Nagi doesn't understand it at all. It's not
He's
an
just kind
ego
of along
power.
for the ride.
Yes, Kaiser has panicked before, and he's a restrictive type egoist. He was scared when everything was being taken away from him.
Yeah,
When,
that was his
and then,
perception of this situation.
yeah, it was literally life or death for him there. Because if he loses everything, what does he do? He has to go back with his family, or he has to go back with his father, and he doesn't want that.
Yeah, and
It's
then what
life.
happened?
That is a literally life or death to him.
Yeah, so that shows that he has that restrictive situational perception. He sees it as restrictive, like this is life or death for me. And then it shows that he's thrives in a restrictive environment because he then goes on to revolutionize himself and grow and overcome that adversity. So I think there's two aspects to each thing. I'll use Kaiser as an example again. You've got obviously restrictive and freedom, but there's like two sides. You've got like your situational perception and your like adversity capacity. Situational perception is what you see the situation as. Like, do you see it as restrictive? Do you see it as freedom? Under Kaiser's example, he didn't. He saw, the chance that he would lose everything that he's built up for. His situational perception was restrictive. And then your adversity capacity is how you deal with that difficult situation. How are you going to be able to hold it and how are you going to respond to it? Kaiser responds obviously by revolutionizing himself and growing and overcoming it. He overcomes the adversity. So he shows that he has a capacity for restrictive environments. So I think it's kind of just two aspects. It's just how they see the situation and how they overcome it. And that shows how, like, when Rayo in the first election was like, oh my God, me and Nagi are losing. He had a restrictive situational perception. He saw it as restrictive. He saw that they were going to lose. But he has a poor restrictive adversity capacity because he doesn't deal with the situation well. He essentially shut down, and it took like Nagi to awaken to kind of bring Rayo back. So I think there's kind of two sides to each aspect of it. I know it might be like overcomplicating it, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and Curvis, you also mentioned Nagi was under the restriction of being locked down by Isagi and not having performed well. He needed to make an impact. Yeah, Nagi's not like a restrictive type ego either. I know that's not the point you're making, but in terms of like with Rayo, like he was in a restrictive environment because of Isagi. Isagi restricted what he could do. And then when he went to Rayo, it became a freedom-based environment because they could do whatever they wanted together. And they had so many options and ideas. And like the fact that you don't understand the situation of restrictive or freedom doesn't make it's really hard because I think we're explaining it pretty clearly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
pretty
might be
set.
like me. He might be like me, man. I find it so complicated. The whole
I can read
restriction.
you what it means. I could read you what it
Yeah.
means, like the
I
in
think
series
it's more
definition
so
means.
I think it's more so what the individual themselves can understand it as. I'd say, at least in my words, in like layman's terms, restrictive ego is like where you can thrive when you're under pressure. Like you're cool, calm, connected, even when there's like pressure around you. Like, and that's what leads to like super moments. I'll use real life examples that like Cristiano Ronaldo against Juventus. Like top Champions League semi-final match, huge stakes, one mistake and you could be out, restrictive environment. And Ronaldo proved that he has that restrictive side because he manages to thrive in that environment, and henceforth you got that phenomenal bicycle kick that he scored against Buffon. I think that's the best example I could come up with on the spot for restrictive. It's just cool under pressure and you thrive. And then you've got freedom types, and that basically means when the situation is nice and calm, it's nice and tranquil, you can you like thrive in that. Like there's no pressure on you, cool head, and you can just go out and do whatever. I think,
dude, this guy doesn't get the point. Sorry, not you. You're making a very excellent point. Nagi doesn't thrive in restriction. When Isagi was stopping him, when he couldn't beat Isagi, he was put into a restrictive environment, to which he then had to ask Rayo for help in. That's not him like breaking free from restriction. That's him running from it and trying to get into a way that's freedom based for him. Like, I don't know what's hard to understand about that.
Yeah, basically, so Nagi came under that restrictive environment that I mentioned before. Nagi was under that when he was pressured by Isagi. What Nagi does is that instead of like the Ronaldo example, where he thrives by himself to have a super moment, he instead runs from that restrictive environment to go to Rayo, because Nagi knows with Rayo, the situation is calm. Rayo does all the work for him, and Nagi can work from that. That is a tranquil freedom environment because Rayo gives him that freedom to, do his Nagi stuff. And he thrives in that freedom environment, and that's displayed when he scored the 5-stage revolver fake volley. Gee, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. And by the way, Nagi doesn't suck when he's given his own. He sucks when he's given his own thing when he's forced to think. That's when he doesn't do good. When he's forced to play like
Yeah,
a talented
not
learner, that's when he sucks. When he plays like a genius and just goes on instinct, he does really well. He's like Shido. When given the options to
yeah,
do what they want to do, instinctually they'll come up with something and do it. That's how it works, and that's how Nagi does his stuff. When you put him into a restrictive environment, he's very bad. When you force him to play like a talented learner, he's gonna suck. When you force these players to play in ways that they're not comfortable with, they're not gonna do well. That's why he didn't do well with Agi, and that's why with Raito he was able to do really well. Hell, he even entered flow when playing with him. He's not a restrictive type player. When he gets restricted, he finds a solution, but that solution doesn't come from him awakening. That solution comes from him finding someone to change the environment, which is exactly what Raito did. Raito changed the environment from restrictive to freedom. That's not how restrictive egoists work. They work by thriving in the environment that they're given and breaking away from the restrictions on their own. Like in series, it says, there are people like me who can decide for themselves from multiple options and establish their own formulas. People who find it easier to display their abilities in a free environment. In the second selection, Nagi did the exact same thing. This is exactly what Nagi did when he was working with Bachira and Isagi. He created all the ideas float into his own brain. That was him by himself. That was
yeah.
like because he thrives in those situations. But Nagi has been
Yeah.
shown to be playing as a talented learner throughout the. Yes, he was. In Manshine City, he was forced to play like a talented learner. Agi and Chris Prince forced him to. The active annoyance thing. Literally had to play like a talented learner. I'll read you what a talented learner is as well, since I have to. I'm out here to find it. I gotta make a BLUELOCK dictionary. I swear to God. Here. This is world type. No, I gotta go to talented learner. I was looking at the 254. I gotta go to 280. 281. 281.
Oh, Kurugi, you didn't do
Or no,
well in
here
that game
282.
at all. Come on.
Yeah, 282. Talented learner. Self-style and word style. Talented learner faces their opponents with logic. Are those concepts connected? I know the definition is somewhere here. So think like a talented learner. Started applying himself logically. That's what talented learners do. They take in the situations around them. Because freedom-based and talented learners, that's what they're connected to the same thing. But he got 88 million when he was in a freedom-based environment. He got it from scoring the super goal, where after Rayo gave him the pass, he had the option to do whatever he wanted. That wasn't a restrictive environment. That was a freedom environment. Nagi could do whatever he wanted there. That is what generated the 88 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally, nothing else in that game was worth anything of value.
Yeah, he was asked that game apart from the goal. Literally, Nagi was asked that whole game apart from the goal. Well, apart from the beginning where he did hold off two defenders nicely, but as we know, those
And did
defenders are
the zero
scrubs.
reset turn, but that pass eventually just went to nothing because it got blocked by Yukimiya.
Yeah, yeah. Nagi didn't play well that game. He just scored a wonderful goal.
He
Nothing
scored a
else.
wonderful goal, but tell me what else in that game he did of value that wasn't based in a freedom based that didn't put him in the freedom based environment.
Nothing.
Yeah, everything in that game
yeah,
he was in the freedom based environment.
hmm He even
yeah.
had
I'd
to he
say,
had to, he had to ask Rayo for help, didn't
Yeah, that's him
yeah,
asking
I'd
Rayo for
say,
give him the freedom environment again.
I'd say when it comes to overcoming the adversity of a restrictive environment, I'd say Nagi's probably one of the worst because he's
he?
lazy, doesn't think much, and I'd say his individual football abilities are far from great.
Yeah.
Like, we've never really seen Nagi to do too much like amazing like dribbling or passing. Like, even when he made that pass to Agi when he was following him, Agi stated himself like only he could have reached that because of his height.
Yeah.
It shows that
I mean,
his
I
ability
think
to. Sorry,
yeah, I think
go on.
I think it's laziness that's stopping him from being good at all that other stuff. I think if he
Yeah.
applied himself, he'd actually would be a good dribbler. Like
Yeah.
I've seen him put the ball through the legs of Igaguri. Granted, that's
is
just Igaguri, but
is
yeah,
that
he's
even a notable
I
feat?
think laziness is what's stopping him from being good at everything else.
Yeah, certainly.
But
Yeah, right here.
yeah,
I'll read you what he says. I want to beat Isagi. I wonder how I can do it. He keeps going beyond me. I feel like I can't beat him right now. I'm doing the things Chris and Nagi taught me, but I really don't get this creativity stuff, and it's not going well at all. Right now, soccer isn't fun for me.
mhm.
Soccer was way more fun back when I played with you, Rao. Help me beat Isagi. I need your help, Rao. He's asking for his help because he needs to be put into an environment where he has the choice to win. And I get it. You say he scored a fluke goal. It's not necessarily a fluke goal. It's a goal that surpasses his like current talents. That's how I would describe that goal. Something that
Oh, I'd
surpasses
say,
his.
well, it kind of was a fluke goal because it was stated like he could never pull it off again. But I think what the misunderstanding is that it's not a fluke goal because of the environment he was in. It was a fluke goal because, as you said, it was way above his current skill level.
Mhm.
It wasn't a fluke goal because of the environment. It was because of the skill required to replicate it, which Nagi doesn't possess. The environment
Yeah.
really had not too much of an impact on that, other than actually Nagi having the ability to do the goal in the first place, and that was because he was in a freedom environment, which allowed him to overcome the adversity of his situation by pulling that off and beating Isagi and Kaiser to score the revolver.
Mhm.
Yes, but restrictive types. Okay, you say if restrictive types only had one option that they could do, then they would get cooked. That's not how that works. Restrictive type egos are given set rules, set limitations, right? Do this, do that. Barou is a restrictive type egoist, right? But he excelled and awakened by breaking free from the rules and restrictions that Snuffy kept him to.
Hmm.
If you put Nagi into that situation, he isn't breaking free.
Yeah, he just
He's
obeyed the
not
system.
breaking free because he's not thriving in the environment with restriction or pressure.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
not how that works for him. Nagi
I
does his
think you.
best when he's doing things how he wants to. Like hell, the restrictive environment that in the episode Nagi's side story, right? We had with Barou, Chigiri, Nagi, right? And Zantetsu. They were all doing things, sacrificing themselves for the sake of scoring goals, right? They were given the restriction to use themselves for the chance at victory. There was no desire behind it. There was no passion. Just do what you have to do, sacrifice yourself to do this. You're restricting yourself because you're not playing in the way that you want to or know how to. Right? That's a restrictive environment. Nagi like didn't do well in that environment. So we decided I'm going to change the environment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He's told Goddard, I'm not doing that anymore. Meaning he's not playing in the restrictive environment anymore. He's not breaking free from the restriction to evolve. He's literally saying, if we're playing like this, I'm not doing it. That's not breaking
hmm.
free from a restrictive environment. That's just not playing in the way you want to in a restrictive environment. He's not thriving in a restrictive environment. Barou thrives in a restrictive environment. He does well when there are rules set for him and he breaks them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is quite literally rules are made to be broken, but as a manga character.
Yeah. Like, you're telling me throughout the entire series, Nagi hasn't played in a freedom environment and done really well? Nagi's done well by choosing what he wants to do. He chose
Yeah,
to work with Ryo at the start, and that was his choice. And Ryo would
yeah,
just give him the pass, and he would do whatever he wanted to do.
yeah.
Right?
Freedom environment.
I'm pretty sure Nagi himself says that in chapter 179. I think he says it. Yeah, right here. What's your ideal soccer style, Nagi Seishiro? He says he wants to beat Isagi. Um, he says, how do you do that? He says, I don't know. I don't want to lose to him. And he says, okay, let's try pursuing that idea. What do you normally think about when you score a goal? I'm reacting to the ball that comes my way. What about tactics? Never thought about them. Ryo or Isagi always passes to me. You've always done that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, what Nagi's like perception of a freedom environment is that somebody does the passing for him, whether it's isagi, Rayo, or whoever. That's his situational perception. I'm in a freedom environment when I have somebody else doing the thinking and the passing for me. That's where I flourish. You get the ball to me, I'll work my magic. That's how he works. That's how he overcomes that freedom environment.
Yeah. I also hate the point of like we can disagree. I get your points, but we're just gonna disagree. It's not a thing of like debating. I'm showing you why you're wrong. Definitions from series to explain why you're wrong, and you just don't accept it. Like that's not something of a debate. That's just you refusing to accept what's true. I don't know. I hate when people do that. Like if I show you evidence that proves that you're wrong, you can't just be like, "Well, I disagree." It's not a matter of disagreeing. It's a matter of you being right or wrong. It's not like it's not us arguing about it's not like this is an argument of like what 2 plus 2 equals, whether it equals 4 or 5. I'm telling you what 2 plus 2 equals. You can't just say, well, I disagree. That's not how it works.
Nah, I disagree. It's fish. It always is.
Okay, that point is okay. That point
See,
is okay to argue.
See, there is like one weird player with the restrictive and freedom types ego. Now, I could be completely misperceiving this, but Bachara, because he's put into freedom type, isn't he? But during the third selection, in the second selection, he overcame his own limitations in something he perceived as a restrictive environment. He saw Rin and Isagi were both evolving far beyond him, and he was essentially like nothing. He was put into that. He's got that situational perception of a restrictive environment, because if he can't, prove himself, he's going to get left behind. He's going to lose the only people that can understand him and why he plays football. And then in that environment, he then thrives and has that epic solo run. He thrived in that restrictive environment.
Yeah.
So
well, that's the thing. It's not a restrictive environment. It's self-restriction. What Bachara was perceiving as no, but restrictive comes from the environment and things that are placed upon you. He was deciding this for himself.
But also, even if you are self-restricting, an environment only seems pressurizing if you see it as such.
Like, okay, Bachara with the situation where he awakened, he wasn't breaking free from restriction. He was like he was choosing to play for himself. He was choosing to play for the monster and for others, right? But he was doing that because of his own like mental issue. Bachara had severe like neglect as a child, not from his family, but just from in social concepts. No one really cared for him. He was always by himself. That led to isolationism. And that's the kind of thing that Bachara was struggling with, where he developed the imaginary friend of the monster, right? But in that, Bachara was creating something to have fun with, to play with. He was putting himself into a freedom environment with the monster in his own head. What he considered to be a restriction caused by the monster was literally his own choice. And that's why you see like the monster disappear and it's him still there. It was his own choice to play for the monster, and now he's choosing to play for himself. Like he has the choice to assist other people, but he's playing for himself. No one put the restrictions upon him. He did it for himself. And it's not a self-restrictive thing. Restriction involves from your environment and things other people place upon you. It doesn't apply to like yourself. When it comes to dribblers, most dribblers are naturally freedom-based. Like when it comes, because you want to have the options of where you're going to dribble, how you're going to dribble, do whatever makes your heart sing. Like, and when it comes to Bachara's flow state, that's another thing. Your environment and freedom of restrictive relates to how you enter flow. And Bachara entered his flow state by playing how he wanted to, in whatever way made his heart sing, to quote him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that clears it up then.
Yeah. OP so good with this as well, man. He seems to understand things really well, just like you, Arrow, and you did.
My goat.
Me personally, I struggle with this restriction and and freedom-based environment. But I'm getting there. I'm learning from Aero. Um, but yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask, uh, whilst we go on with this, is there a chance for anyone else to be involved in the match? You know, any other players? I think we saw what's his name? That guy from the U20.
Nagi?
Uh,
Oh,
no, no,
Neo?
N not Neo, the other one. The spiky
Ayate.
hair. Ayate, yeah, yeah, yeah. We seen him get involved somewhat, like not really, but yeah, he's been shown. Do you think we'll get to see any other players, you know, Hiragis and Nishiokas? Will they
I
get
was going to say,
involved?
is that a hidden Nishioka reference? Ah, figured as much. Ah,
It's a
I
tough one
could
because
see.
the speed in which the game's going, I don't think we will, but I'm still holding out hope.
Hmm. Yeah, there is a chance because it's actually this is one minor thing I have against Aero's situational theory about how Rayo's going to score, not about the shot itself, but it's the belief that Nagi is going to pull off a pass like that over the Barcher defense, Chris Prince, and get past all of that, even though it's been displayed in the series that his passing is utter crud.
Nagi's passing isn't
So
bad. Where is this that his
Argy
passing's
said,
bad?
Argy said Nagi's passing was basically so terrible that only he could have reached it due to his physical ability. It's even stated in the manga during the Manshine match.
He's not saying his passing is bad. He's saying that he sent the pass to Agi that way because he knew he could reach him, and then it would let him do what he wanted to do. Like, it's not that his passing is crap. It's just the pass that he sent was specifically made for Agi. Like, he said, if the pass had been a bit cleaner, you could have made it. I could have made the shot. You could have made the
Yeah,
shot a
he
bit
said
sooner.
Nagi's passing was crap and only he could reach it because it was that bad.
Well, no, he says he made the. Yeah, he says it was a sloppy pass. It wouldn't have worked if it wasn't to me.
Yes,
But
there you go. It's a
Nagi,
sloppy pass.
yeah, yeah. But then he says, but I
Pass
made it.
was still
But I made it
sloppy.
like that because it was you. He's
It's
saying in the
still
context of like if it was any other person aside from him, but Nagi did it that way because it was him. Because it was him. He did something that was like outside of what he could normally do. Sure, because he usually couldn't hit passes like he's not gonna do insane. He's not gonna do insane passes. But the pass I'm
Mm,
talking about isn't anything intense. It's literally just a chip. He's just chipping the ball up and over. It's not like an insane like he's trying to hit it in a certain way. He's just legitimately trying to get the ball to Raya with a slight tap over. Kind of what like what Sai did. Like Raya, like when Nagi sends a pass, it's a pass that's supposed to drop suddenly in the air towards Agi. But this one's just supposed to be just a chip over. It flies over people and then will slowly land in the area. And by the way, Raya with Metavision, he's going to see this beforehand. So he's going to rush to a spot that he could score from, sure, but also one that he would likely receive a pass from Nagi to. Like, that's what Metavision also calculates.
Has Rayo ever received a pass from proper pass from Nagi though? Because if he's working on where is Nagi most likely going to pass it to me, what previous information does he have to draw on?
He has all of his experience working with Nagi and training alongside him at Manshine City, as well as all the game experience that he's seen with Nagi. He knows what Nagi can do. He knows what Nagi can do so well that Nagi is the only genius that Rayo can copy. The only like non-technical weapon that he can do is from him.
Yeah, but that's not passing though. That's in copying the technical weapon. And their relationship was, as you have proven time and time again, was Rayo passes to Nagi, Nagi does magic.
But
That's
they've
how they
still
work.
sent passes between each other though. They've still linked passes between each like Nagi okay, chapter 188 when they're working together. Nagi uses a heel flick to send a pass upwards to up towards Ryo that flies over two defenders and gets to Ryo. But he sends it to a spot that's close enough for him to get it to Ryo, but not to where Yukimiya comes in to stop him.
Aye.
Like they've linked passes between each other before. And this one it wouldn't be too intense. He's just sending it to just slightly behind where Chris Prince is. Like Nagi has using his trapping he knows how to send passes. Like,
Yeah,
it wouldn't
that's
technically really be anything
Victory.
different than what Nagi did to isagi, though. How is it anything different than what Nagi did to isagi when isagi slipped behind barou?
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
because it's the same
That's the one I
situation.
was thinking.
It's the same situation.
Well, not really, because there's so much smaller pitches with less than half of the players. Therefore, there's more gaps. There's also far less structural formation, because during the second selection we saw that it was just 1v1s and not 11v11s, where it's a more, as I said, structure-based system.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
of course,
the
situation is still contextually the same, and they're at a higher level now than they were back then. You have to scale if you're going to scale up the field in the situation. You also have to scale up their skills given the time period. Like, it doesn't need to be an insane pass like what Sai, like Sai or Charles or Hiyori. It's literally just a quick pass that would go over people and drop towards where Rayo is, which isn't hard to do since Rayo has metavision and can predict where the pass is going to go based on all of the information in the field. Based off of what he knows Nagi can do, the pressure on the field, the situations of everyone else, he can do that. It's not impossible.
He's also incredibly inconsistent with it, and there's no guarantee that he would actually have metavision at the moment, because considering he's using it subconsciously, he doesn't have that consciously active to him, so there's no guarantee that he would have metavision in that environment anyway.
Yes, I get that, but you're going off of my theory to begin with, and my theory includes that Rayo has awakened metavision in this context. So you have to you can't exclude one part of it and include other parts. Like, if you have the whole situation laid out as is, and that's my theory, the rest of my theory goes that Rayo would have metavision in this instance, to where that would be the play that's being made, and therefore it's logical. If that makes sense.
Apart from the fact you're misunderstanding, yes, I was talking about Nagi's passing aspect individually. I was decomposing it, not talking about it as a whole. I didn't say whether does Rayo have the metavision to keep up in the specific scenario. It was, if Nagi is passing to Rayo in general, is metavision still reliable for Rayo in general to be able to match up with Nagi's not exceptional passing skills? I was talking about that.
Like, I would say so, given how Rayo was able to use his metavision to see further into the future than isagi could at one point.
Oh yeah, when Rayo used metavision at the end of the Munchen game, I think he pulled off probably the most one of if not the most impressive metavision based feat in the match, and that was beating isagi, Kaiser, and Noah to the loose ball.
Well, not that play. That wasn't the play I was talking about.
Well, that's what I was talking about. When Rayo's got metavision, oh yeah, definitely, he can easily pretty much adapt to almost like any pass that's at least like feasibly possible. I'm just coining whether, just in general, not in any specific scenario, but in general, is metavision at the moment a reliable weapon for Rayo to use at the moment? Because I don't think so. Not until he's like become consciously aware of it.
Like, here's the thing, right? When it comes to Rayo awakening metavision, I think if he doesn't awaken it in this context, it wouldn't make a lot of sense, given we got the reveal that he does have it, and at this point he is going to awaken again, or like we can agree that he's gonna awaken, right? Like, is this a pretty obvious situation?
I was thinking it's going to be more geared to a goal scoring based evolution as a part of Rayo evolving his tactic. Yeah, like I've got a theory that slightly diverges from most people, but it still follows like the same core of just Rayo will evolve and score a goal.
Yeah. But, okay. So at least we get that point. Like, we agree on that. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. How does your theory go? Do you?
Yeah, I'm actually curious.
Yeah, mine is, instead of like Rayo improving himself, like better serve Nagi, just like, I'm going to challenge you with better passes. I'm going to force you to get better and not just keep on being spoon fed. I think it's actually pretty much a near identical theory to what Hirio had on his video, except I made it months before, so I'm like superior. But anyway,
I haven't actually. Is this video good? I haven't watched it like at all.
Same. I've not seen it either.
considering that it's basically a copy paste of my own theory, obviously I totally agreed with everything and it was a good video. But that's a biased point of view. But yeah, what I think is that instead of being like a better playmaker for Nagi, I think he'll actually become a direct rival for Nagi.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm
Like
with you on whole 100%.
Yeah, so it won't be like a Hiyori x Isagi kind of duality, where it's just I'm going to serve the best passes for you to evolve, hence the no look alley pass. But I think it's more going to be like a cooperative rival relationship where it's just like not something more toxic like Isagi x Rin, Isagi x Kaiser, x Barou, but it'd be more cooperative. Like we're both working towards the same goal, but we're both going to challenge each other to get better and not just like kind of in the middle of their codependency and their independency, kind of in the middle.
Yeah, so, see, that's that's the direction I think they should go in.
Hmm.
Where they need to challenge each other, or at least Rayo needs to challenge Nagi, and through challenging Nagi, he's also challenging himself.
Yeah. And I think with that, it will allow Rayo's chameleon style to actually become like fully effective. Because if he's looking to keep up with Nagi, who as a genius is probably, in terms of like peaks, already far above Rayo, as shown by his 5-stage revolver fake volley, it could lead Rayo to like outsource more over the course of the show. And maybe the biggest Rayo glazer out here with this comment, but in terms of overall adaptability, I'd say Rayo is on par with Isagi. Obviously, I see adaptability as more as what I think some others would see, but like obviously, Isagi is the adaptability king. You know, he's the genius of it, so he's better. But I think that's just that's like narrative bias.
Yeah.
Not saying Isagi's adaptability is bad, but adaptability is more than what Isagi has shown off. Like, if I was to look at adaptability, you've got cognitive adaptability, which is obviously adapting your mind. That's what Isagi does. He breaks himself down, builds himself back up. But then you've got kinesthetic adaptability, which is like body, like being able to adapt your body. And obviously that's Rayo through his copying ability. And then you've got like how fast they can adapt. I'd say Rayo adapts faster because Isagi has to break down what's going on, find a solution, then adapt. Whereas Rayo stated he can copy as soon as he's seen it. And this is shown like time and time again, of whether it's third selection, U20, or NEL. So I'd say if we're looking at it, like Rayo's adaptability is on Isagi's level since he specializes in different areas, and with that, that can lead to him making great strides, and then that in turn can lead to Nagi making great strides, and they can both, with their phenomenal learning curves, build off each other again and again and again with this kind of more cooperative rivalry that I hope they develop. And I think that's probably like the best route for them both to take at the moment if they're both to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, feel free to hate on me for Rayo equal to Isagi adaptability. That is spicy take. That is a spicy take.
It's super
Well, I think
spicy.
Rayo adapts to player. I think Rayo's isn't really adaptability in a context. It's more just like he can copy people. It's literally just he can copy people. Rayo Isagi's adaptability is more
adaptability.
His adaptability isn't adapting like and incorporating. That's emulation. He can emulate players. Rayo copies. I feel like
emulation and okay. Well, anyway, I'd say emulation and adaptability aren't too far apart from each other because the emulation is to obviously copy something, but adaptability is also to best suit your environment. Rayo best suits the environment he's in by copying a certain player. For example, using Nagi's lift tap on defense. Like he is emulating Nagi, yes, but he is adapting to this new scenario. The ball is coming into the box. He best adapts to that situation by adapting what his body is capable of doing. And obviously that goes down the more kinesthetic route of adaptability. He adapts his body to emulate Nagi's lift tap and obviously pulls it off for the clearance. If that makes sense. Like, I think most people in Blue Lock see adaptability in the cognitive sense because obviously we follow Isagi. That's no fault of anyone's. But I do think it does ignore the kinesthetic side that Raito develops, especially since he's taken like a back seat in the story.
Yeah, that's true. I understand where you're coming
makes
from.
sense.
I understand where you're coming from for sure. But I think when it comes to the adaptability bit, I think Isagi's strength is the willingness of his adaptability. So he's not someone who stops himself from changing. Whereas I think the
Yeah, I'd
other
say
players,
that more so links like his motivation and his like emotional engagement. He's more like his better motivation. He's far more
yeah,
motivated than Raito. One
yeah,
of the
for
most
sure,
motivating characters in the show, for crying out loud. I'd
for
say
sure.
his motivation facilitates his adaptability. Like, it's kind of like, Isagi, you have this adaptability. It's really good. How best are you going to use it? And Isagi would be like, my motivation. His willingness
But
to
I
break himself down, build himself up, is a source of his motivation to do so.
yeah,
And his
and
adaptability lets him do this.
I would also say that his IQ is a huge facilitator in that. His footballing IQ. Because without the knowledge that he has football wise, probably half the stuff that he does he wouldn't be able to do, or half the solution he comes up with, he wouldn't be able to come up with. And I think
What's
that
he
serves
like?
him a lot better than Rayo, not because Rayo's less not because Rayo's not as smart, but simply because Rayo doesn't have the same amount of experience Isagi does. Isagi's been
Mm,
playing football pretty much his whole life.
yeah. I hate it when people use football IQ. There's an intelligence scaler. It makes me want to barf, honestly. Not bad,
Why
obviously, but just
why you
with that extra
why don't you
insight.
like it?
Because I actually know how IQ works. Not saying nobody else does, but in
Hmm.
intelligence scaling, IQ is far different from just, oh, they did a smart play. That's IQ. But that's like an entire like topic. That's like an entire topic like in of itself. So I'll just like
Is
summarize.
isn't
So basically,
IQ problem solving though?
it's fixed base problem solving is where
Hmm.
you're given like certain tests, and what they do is that they measure you in 5 different ways. You've got your visual spatial abilities, which is obviously your ability to comprehend like the relationships between visual objects, like, oh, that's a chair, that's a table, down
Hmm.
to more complex things such as like understanding like abstract patterns. Like, metavision is a phenomenal like representation of visual spatial, because
Okay.
obviously you're able to interpret the entire space. So, oh god, this sounds like I'm going into one of my deep analytical
No,
videos now.
go on. I'm interested.
So yeah, between Isagi and Rayo, Isagi's far better usage of metavision, especially with his new evolved state. I don't know
Hmm.
what we're calling it. I've heard like omnivision, metavision,
Yes,
super set.
That's
yes,
Arrow's
you
one, yeah.
heard it. Yes, you know
I
it.
heard it. Yes, I know it. I've also heard like metavision, Super Saiyan 2, whatever the hell,
I've
whatever the
never
hell
By the
you
way,
lot
heard
are
that
coming
one.
up.
yo,
I
real
have
quick before you
never.
guys continue, do you guys want to peep the new drawing I've been working on since we've been chilling here? Just
Yeah, yeah.
because I listen. All right, I'll give you guys 3 guesses. Right, I have been postponing this drawing for months. For
Because you
months, I
needed to
plan.
rework it again.
No, just I wanted to do this drawing so bad, but I've just had no time, and I'm like, I really want to do this because I really love how it looks so far. You're
Alright.
allowed three hints. You get 3 hints. Give the game. We'll give the chat something to work for too. We'll give them 3 hints. You guys are allowed 3 questions.
In IQ, this would be a test of fluid reasoning.
Fluid
Another
reasoning.
one of Isagi's best spots.
See, that's
Sorry.
the first time I've ever heard that word, that term.
Oh, by the
fluid
way,
reason.
Yeah.
are you guys how available are you guys when it comes to like content?
Yeah, I'm pretty available on evenings here in the UK.
Yeah, so that would be like that's pretty much like my noonish. Like 12 o'clock for me is like what 5 o'clock for you?
Okay.
Yeah. I
Is
don't work because I'm not an idiot.
Are you okay with
Okay.
revealing your age? Or
I am, yeah. I think you know already. I'm 30 now.
yeah,
Oh,
right. I know
wow.
you, right? Did do. Are you okay with like revealing your age, or
Yeah,
you wanting
just
to keep that?
18 in the
Oh
Okay,
world
wow.
of adult.
Yeah, see, I got you.
Scary.
See, I'm the same. I'm 19. So
If only you were UK, I'd like, hoard you for university advice. Because what do I need to
I mean,
explain?
I'm in college right now. I'm in college right now. Like
I don't know how to
I
work.
pay for my college by doing. Well, technically, I don't pay for my college to do this. I have scholarships that pay for my college, and
Oh
I do this
nice.
as my job, kind of, because I get like 1,400 a month from this.
I
Oh,
was gonna say, yeah,
wow.
the government gives me money to. Well, the government would give me money to pay for it, and then I
Yeah,
have to pay it back with interest because the government can't keep all the money with everyone else. It's got to keep some for itself.
yeah. See,
So
I have
there's
they pay
political.
me. They pay me to go to college.
Wow.
That's sick.
I know I might be dumb, but I'm smart a little bit.
Wait,
It's
where
like
you
they
sending
pay me to go to uni.
the image?
I'm not. All right. I wanted to ask you because real quick, I want to do a BLUELOCK Family Feud kind of game
Oh,
show with a bunch of creators.
Ooh.
that sounds fun.
I've already
Ooh, that
done.
sounds
I've done.
spicy.
I've done 2 game shows already. I did BLUELOCK Jeopardy, and I've done BLUELOCK Only Connect. I think it's like a UK or a more European game, Only Connect or
I've not heard
Connections or
of it.
something like that.
I don't watch
But
game
it's
shows.
like
I'm too young for that.
yeah, but I want to do BLUELOCK Family Feud, so I'm trying to get 8 content creators to kind of form a team and like go against each other.
Ooh,
So
That sounds
if you guys,
spicy. I love that.
yeah, that is best idea so far.
so if you
Yeah.
guys were interested in joining that, I'd love to have you guys on.
Oh,
So
put
I've
me
got
down,
time.
man.
I'm down.
Put me down. I'm
Um,
definitely there.
am I gonna ask the
Yeah.
community from responses? Yeah, I'm gonna yeah. I have the form set up. I'm gonna share it in probably a couple weeks, get a bunch of responses in, and I'm gonna set the Family Feud game show style thing up, and then I'll turn it into a giant video. It'll be live streamed, and then it'll be turned into a video. So
Oh, that's so sick.
I think it'll be fun. All right, you guys get 3 questions, to guess the drawing. All right, just for fun. You
Wait,
guys can talk amongst yourselves. You guys share questions, so you guys get to talk amongst yourself.
okay.
Share questions. So that means we
Yeah,
only get 3 in total, not 3 each.
Yeah. Yep. 3 in
Okay.
total.
We have to. Wait, is it? Wow. Can I ask? Is it it's a blue lock character, right?
Yeah, it's a BLUELOCK one. That's
Right.
not
Okay.
that doesn't count as one of your questions.
Right. Cool.
It's a
I say we need to ask in
Mhm.
particular um the hair
okay.
color, because hair color can,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
yeah, a lot, like hair color might give it a lot away.
Yeah, hair
Hair
color is very distinct.
color's gonna give it away, so I have the answer that's gonna stump you
I
guys.
knew it. I knew
Oh,
You guys want hair color?
no, because you're gonna trick us.
I don't know. Will I?
You are. Um,
Okay.
All right, good mind games. Good mind games.
oh, then mm,
Uh,
I'm trying to think
we have to think
position,
well, what
but
kind
if it
of player would Aero want to draw? Because he said he wanted, he's been working on this for a while. This would be something he'd want to do. He wouldn't just
ooh,
do this for like any random Blue Lock character. It'd be someone that
Oh, I
he'd
would.
actually want to spend that amount of time drawing.
mm,
I'll say this:
ki-
I'm drawing it because I haven't seen a single colored panel on it. Not a
Not
single
a main
one.
character. Not a main character. That eliminates it to background. So
no,
that
no,
eliminates.
there's a lot. There's some characters like Yukimiya who hardly ever gets colored. Um,
Hmm.
ah,
Like what we're gonna do is your
actually,
character mostly blind? Is that what we're gonna ask?
no, we can't ask that. Um, oh, actually,
There goes one of your questions now.
We're
um,
brainstorming. We're in the brainstorming phase.
are we allowed to ask like what team they played for in the NEL, or do we have to be specific?
Oh yeah, you can ask that if you want. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that your question?
What? Okay. What NEL? Okay. What we need to do is go like what NEL teams haven't been given a lot of recognition because we've got Barcher because Barcher
Hmm.
has gotten a few, but Otoya doesn't really have many coloured panels, if any at all.
But
When have you ever seen an Otoya panel?
if he tells us the team, then we can deduce from there.
Yeah, but also what we want to do is narrow down the options because if we narrow down each team individually, we can then find out like which one's got the smaller base.
Oh, are we
Because
allowed to ask you to tell us the team, or find? Do we have to like do it in like yes,
No, you can
no?
ask. You can ask. You can use that as one of your questions. You can ask what team they play for. That's fine.
Yeah. So
Like you're allowed to.
I think
yeah,
deducing. I think we
Rayo,
should ask
Like
what
aside from just
team.
you asking who it is. Like if you can just say who is it? Like you can't just ask that. But any other question's fine. You can ask what team they play for, what chapter they're introduced in.
I
Like
think we should
oh, I don't
ask
know, chat.
what. I think we should first ask what team do they play for,
Yeah,
and go from there.
yeah.
All right, cool. What team does this guy play for?
they play for Bastard Munchen.
Bastard
Uh-huh.
mentioned
Play for
about a lot
Bastard.
of. Okay, so
Uh,
we can immediately take out Isagi. He's got loads.
yeah, for sure. It can't be
Iori's got
Isagi.
quite a few. Kaiser's got a few.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Uh,
you this. It's not the character that doesn't have a lot of colors. It's this. I've never seen this panel colored. I've never seen this panel
oh
colored.
wow,
Okay. So that makes it so much
but
harder. A panel.
it does.
Well, you're just guessing. You're
So,
guessing the character
Oh,
of. You're guessing the character. I'm just telling you the panel I'm drawing is one that I haven't seen
oh.
anyone draw before.
So it could be Isagi then.
mm,
It
It
could
could
be
be, yeah.
but here's also
because it's the panel. Ah.
he did say that this character I haven't seen them with a lot of stuff, so it could be a panel with that character in that hasn't
Could
really
be
gotten a lot of love.
Igarashi doesn't have many color panels.
Mm. He's got his one
Ki
with Rin, but
Kiora
that's
as well.
basically about it. Iori's got a few. His main moments would be
Speaking
probably
of,
his assist to
while we're talking about
Isagi.
this, what's your favorite panels of what is your favorite panels in the story?
Uh,
In manga, what are your favorite panels?
Favorite panels.
I already know mine. Mine's when Isagi was about to score for the first time against Manshine. And just after he sent Kurona wide for him to cut it back to him. That panel where
Oh,
he's
where you
about
said
to
like
shoot.
give it.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, not give it. The one after. So after that, when he's literally about to shoot, he's in the box.
Oh.
He's winding up to
Oh, is this
shoot.
the Metavision X direct shot one where he says this is the rebirth of the
yeah.
new Yoichi Isagi?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that one. That one.
Underrated panel. Very
Yeah, I
underrated
love
panel.
that one.
Personal favorite. Hard to choose because they're all so good.
OP says Nico's Birds of a Feather.
That's
It is not
Yeah,
Nico's
that's a
Birds
good-
of a Feather.
Okay. So
that was a funny one.
is it an NEL panel or is it
Yeah.
before that? Okay.
I'll even tell you, it's in the PXG versus Bastard Munchen game.
Okay.
Oh, that's literally the longest game.
Hey,
What the hell? Look at the name. What's that?
Well,
Suki, you
if
want to
it's a
help me out? Wait, I don't know
if
if I
it's a
showed you, Suki, but if you know do you know what what panel I'm currently coloring? Well, it's not on screen. I just don't know if I've sent it recently. If you don't, they're trying to make a guess of what panel I'm currently coloring. So
The Bachira one, the one where he dribbles past like Aggie into a left.
Nah, it can't be
No.
that because yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
because it wasn't.
No.
It's a bastard munchen player from the BM versus PXG game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mate.
If it's something that hasn't been colored a lot, then it's either something recent.
You
guys have 2 more questions. Don't forget. Also, the questions don't include your guesses. Like you can guess and it doesn't affect you.
I think it includes Noah.
Noah.
I think it might be Noah.
Is it Noah? Wait.
For me, it's either Noah
we
or
haven't seen from him yet. From this game.
This is just brainstorming. Could it be the one where Isagi like holds Noah's arms and is like, I will bring theory to you? That's what I'm thinking.
Let's think about, because he likes to talk about his video ideas a lot too, you know. He can't keep his shit to himself, so let's try and brainstorm around that too.
At least all my videos aren't about Sai
He has
Itoshi.
exposed to us already as a video.
At least all my videos aren't about Sai Itoshi. I can predict exactly what video you're going to be talking about as soon as you mention it's about Sai. Okay, here we go again. Why Sai is daddy.
What?
That's his next video. $20.
I was in the middle of brainstorming and then I just hear that.
So OP seems to think it's Isagi's lefty shot.
No, I think
remember, it's one that I haven't seen colored ever.
Bringing up his favor.
So it's one that you've never seen colored, right?
Nope.
Bastard Munchen versus PXG.
It should be
player doesn't get much attention. Maybe Kyora's assist to Kaiser. Brainstorming.
Nah, I don't think it'll be that one.
I've seen that one colored. That one's been colored heavily.
Maybe it's the free kick.
Oh, the Magnus free kick.
Is it Kaiser jumping before he takes the free kick?
It is not.
Oh, damn.
You're allowed, because remember, you're just guessing the character now. You're just supposed to be guessing the character. I'll tell you the panel after, unless you want to do another thing. Try and guess the panel after.
Okay. So it's let us try and guess the character first, and then we'll do the panel.
Yeah. So do we still have the 2 questions for the character then?
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, OP, that's a sick one though. Kaiser impact and direct shot, X direct shot.
I do want to color that one eventually, but
that's not in
not
the PXG game. Yeah.
It is not. But I do want to color that one eventually.
Yeah, that's not the one. Oh.
Well, if we're guessing the character, and I'm pretty sure it was like someone that hasn't been colored a lot, so it might be a background character. Like not too like background where they wouldn't get like any sort of good panel. If it's something that Aero wanted to draw, then it's probably like something that's good, but also within his artistic capabilities, whatever they are.
I would
I
say I'm
think
okay. I would
I
say I'm
think
okay.
I would say I'm utterly terrible.
I think right. I'm gonna guess a character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Gagamaru.
ooh, that's a good guess. He doesn't have too many panels though, really. So the
Yeah,
ones that he has got, I've seen the bear claw one coloured. I've seen him saving Rayo's shot coloured.
but you've got to think this is just within the PXG game.
Gagamaru only made one save, and that was the bear claw one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he only
Yeah,
made one save.
yeah.
So he
It is not that
only
good,
had
though.
really one good panel.
It's
Yeah, so good.
it's not him, no.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at feasible options. Like, there's Yuki Miya. He's a good one. Kyora's assist isn't it, so I don't think Kyora has any other really good panels.
Guys in the chat, help us out if we're missing someone.
I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm like strolling around thinking.
You guys have 2 more questions.
Yeah,
Could
that's
it be?
true. I'm trying to think if we get his body type, if we think of a question that will get
If you guys ask for a chat, if you guys want, I can give you a chapter range, or I could give you the goal range when the chapter happens.
I have no idea. I have not memorized the chapters at all, really.
I never
I'll
mind.
give you an extra hint for free. It's between the first and second Bastard Munchen goal.
First and
That's the
second BM goal.
So it's between the between the 2-gun volley and the Magnus.
Yep.
So it's around or before the process of Kaiser's awakening. Was there any good panels of any other characters during Kaiser's awakening process? Because that lasted a while.
Okay, yeah. I actually OP's got it right here. Where what part of the field does the player play in?
Center forward.
Center full.
Center forward. So it's a Kaiser thing. Oh wait, Isagi plays center forward as well that game. Both Kaiser and Isagi were placed on top. But it's got to be Kaiser because we guessed Isagi, didn't we?
Yeah, we've got lots of Isagi. Also, might seem like a redundant point, but isn't like Aero's PFP Isagi? So couldn't that bias be considered?
My profile picture is not Isagi.
Is it
My
not?
profile picture.
It
No,
was
it's one that my
before.
girlfriend made for me. It used to be. Oh, my Discord one is. My Discord profile picture is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts. My content, my YouTube profile picture is something different.
Is it Kaiser though? It's not. It's Kaiser, isn't it?
It is Kaiser.
Yes.
Ooh.
It is Kaiser. But now, can you guess what moment it is?
Ah.
Something.
Oh, it's got
If
to be
it's
something. It's got to be something cool. I know. Is it
go on.
the moment where he grabs the ball piece? He grabs what was it? A petal? What does he
Yeah, the
grab?
flower petal.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Ah.
If you want, I could just tell you it's nothing. It's nothing. It's really obvious, but it's so not obvious. So I'll tell you now. I'm currently drawing. Do you want me to reveal it?
Yeah,
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm
go on
currently
then.
drawing. I'm currently drawing Magnus. So
the free kick or the shot, the first shot.
his shot, his very first shot, like the actual impact when he kicks the Magnus ball. I have never seen a single person color it, and it's so sad.
I'd
I
mention
need to.
that as well.
You mentioned the
You
free
did.
kick. Here, I'm sending it here. This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I need to refresh my
I sent
memory
it in
on
the
that.
Discord. I'm so happy with how this is turning out so far. And been never. It's in the Discord thing right now. It's in the main server.
Okay.
So I'll probably have to look in a minute. Last time I came off this
Oh
studio thing was when
yeah.
everything crashed.
I still have some effects to do to it, but I'm still
No, yeah, that's great.
working out for
How
it.
good?
Bro,
How good is it looking?
I forgot about this. Like I completely forgot about this panel, you know, because he takes the shot and he's got Rin pressing him, Rin and
Charles,
what's his
yeah.
name, Charles pressing him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like what you did with the target there.
Is it?
Thank you.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
I like it. I like the effect I gave it.
See. See, one thing Aero does really well is the coloring and glow effects. See, with me,
Uh,
I like my coloring style is very flat. I love flat color and I love like flat images. So I don't really incorporate too much lighting and stuff like that. But Aero does, and it looks sick. Like when he's got like different hues and stuff on the skin.
hmm. And then there's me who just can't do art at all, so I don't even bother.
Have you ever wanted to get into it? Like, has it ever been like, oh, this would be cool if I'd like to do that, learn how to do this? Has it ever been something that's interested you, or you just been like, it's not my thing?
The most I can draw are countries. All
Countries?
of like the countries,
Like
yeah.
the flags? Oh,
No, like
I
country,
couldn't do that. I'm so
countries,
lost.
countries.
What?
Is
Like country on a map. That's just,
okay. What from
The
your
shape of
mind?
the country?
yeah.
Like off
How?
your head?
I've yeah. I oh god, self-glazing at
Wow.
Wait,
its finest.
you
I've
wait.
memorized most countries' shapes in my head to some degree.
Draw Chad.
Chad.
Yeah, the country of
Oh,
Chad. Draw it. Draw Chad.
Bro, I didn't even know there was a country called Chad.
See, you need to
yeah,
be
it's
educated.
located. Yeah,
I do.
It's located in central. Well, not central Africa, but like central northern Africa. It's south of Libya, southwest of Egypt, west of Sudan, east of Niger. I'm not going to say that wrong. I don't want to get cancelled. Uh, north of the Central African Republic, just slightly southeast of Algeria. Doesn't border Tunisia. Just northwest of South Sudan as well. Located kind of in the middle near the Sahara Desert, kind of smack bang in the middle.
So I'm assuming like you're a history buff. Is that right to assume? They do.
We can't hear you. Oh, I think he's away from.
I think you
He's,
disconnect.
he's
I think your microphone disconnected, bro.
Uh,
oh, we
There we
can
go.
hear
Heard the
you.
We
Technical
could hear
issues.
the technical problems.
Yeah, technical issues. That to be fair, I've not drawn any countries since geography class.
Oh, I don't even know the names of most countries.
Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither.
We're American. We don't. At least I'm American. We don't care about other countries, as shown recently.
That's very true. I've seen too
Yeah.
many videos of American guys on the street. They don't know basic countries in Europe.
But I will tell you, it's very common not to know most countries. Just most of America seems to be uneducated, me
Yeah,
included,
because
because I don't know much about countries.
the thing is, you guys have these states in it, and anywhere else in the world, these states will probably just be countries in their own right.
Yeah, the states are pretty much the size of the countries, honestly.
Exactly.
Americans just
They don't. Yeah, because all they memorize is the states. They don't memorize countries.
I think
But
I know most states, even as a European.
but to be fair, like most us Europeans and English, we wouldn't be able to name like even 7 states. I'm sure most can
Oh,
give you
that's
like five.
easy.
Yeah, it's easy for you, but trust me, most people won't be able to do it. Trust me.
Okay, hold on. I'll give it a shot from memory. Okay, I
Go on.
don't have Google open. Okay, trust.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Washington,
I don't believe that
Montana,
shit for a
Oregon,
minute.
California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, North and South Dakota, North and South Carolina, Wyoming,
You know what's funny?
Idaho.
This is what's funny. You just named more states than I could name.
Then there's
Really?
Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, which is actually where KFC is originated from. Fun fact, that's why it's called Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Really?
I knew
New
that.
Wow, I
Hampshire,
didn't
New
know.
York, then New Jersey, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Midwest,
Sweet
Kansas,
home Alabama.
Kansas, Arkansas, Colorado, Nevada, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Great Lakes.
We get it. You're smart. Stop rubbing it in.
I can name every country on the planet if you'd rather.
No, I would not. I
I
would not
can, though.
rather. Good for you.
What
I would. I would
you
not
can
rather.
actually do that.
I can actually do that.
So do you do geography or something? Like, are you
Yeah,
good?
A level.
Oh, oh yeah, okay, makes
See,
sense.
I took that too, and then I stopped.
Oh
I gave
really?
up. Well, I had to take it to graduate high school,
Ah.
and now I don't
Yeah.
care at all for it, and don't remember anything of it.
See, I only love geography for drawing volcanoes, you know, and drawing all the little diagrams and stuff because they used to make us draw little diagrams and
I never
explanations and
enjoyed
things.
that stuff. I prefer the more political
Yeah,
stuff over the
I love doing that stuff, but I had no interest in it beyond that really.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think we can wrap up here. Um, it's been great having
Bro,
everyone in.
bro, put us to shame. Just
in it, in it. Yeah, like literally, like we're gonna go back and do a bit of studying. Um,
Boo,
and then
studying.
and then next week I'm gonna quiz Aero on European countries and
I don't study for that shit. I'm a cheat. I'm gonna cheat
Study
that
for
shit.
study for that. Be ready.
Man,
Arrow,
I barely.
Arrow.
Bro, I
If
don't
you
even study
get
for college.
if you get a bad score on that, I will make you sit through me naming every single country, and you will have no choice in the matter.
How
That is
many
more of a
countries
punishment to
is
you because
that?
you will have to sit through me snoring while you try to do that.
Oh no, I would just use it as a memory test.
How
Just
many countries? How many countries is there?
197.
Flipping that. Oh my
Jesus.
days.
United States,
Y-
Canada.
What?
Here's the thing. I'm not good with geography, but
Mhm.
I at least don't try to fake like I am. Not saying you're faking. I'm just saying I'm not trying to talk all big like, oh, I know all the countries. No, I am
I do know all the
fully.
countries.
I'm outright
He's,
admitting I am bullshit. I
yeah, I
am
mean,
going to bullshit.
deducing you're basically you're a geography major. So, Errol, what's your major? We'll quiz you on that.
So I'm a digital
I'm not a
medium. I'm a digital
major.
media, and I just added a marketing minor. I did this because I even if I can't do YouTube anymore, I want to do content creation. So I
Hmm.
would want to help people with making content.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
so I'm doing digital media, and I added a minor because I'm really good with math, and I would like to
Hmm.
learn how to market
Boo,
market
maths,
myself
boo.
and like my content currently. I want to learn how to market my content better.
Okay, that's it.
Maths sucks. If you like
Math
maths, then
isn't
there is
fun.
something wrong with you.
I don't like
I
math. I don't like any subject. I just am
listen,
good at it. I wouldn't
listen.
like. I don't like a lot of things. I'm just good at some stuff, and I think that's where
I
my line is.
I like maths. I struggle with it still. Like, don't get it twisted. I struggle with it, but I actually love maths and the logic concept.
When am I ever going to need algebra in my life? Like, I'm not going to stroll up to a cashier and they're going to be like, the price for your apples is A squared.
Well, obviously not that, but like I
I'm
would use maths in marketing so I could figure out what current trends are and what I could do to go to work towards
Ah.
meeting those trends and
I
how
ain't
that would
doing
equate
marketing.
to financing and such. Like I
Okay.
probably won't need it if my YouTube works out and I could do this as a career. I probably won't need it, but
Mhm.
if I have it, it could be useful for what I want to do. Like legitimately, 2 classes I'm taking next year: influencer marketing and social media marketing. These are going to teach me how to
Okay.
push my content better so I can beat out Hideo and get to 100K subs before he does.
Hey,
Which I
ego.
know won't happen. My goal is to get number 3. My goal
You
is to
got to
be
have
the
that
third.
ego, you know.
My goal is to be the third creator to do that. I started too late in Blue Lock to do this. I started too late, and I'm trying to get there, but
Mm.
I want to try and get to 100K subs. And with how it's projected, I might be the third, which I'm
The
fine
third.
with.
Okay. Who's the
If
first
I'm
two?
Natsu just hit 100K. I don't like
Oh,
Natsu at all.
really?
And Hideo is
Really?
at just under. Well, Natsu doesn't make anything but AI content. He literally goes, okay, listen, I'll explain this. Natsu is only popular because he is essentially the YouTube equivalent of a leaker. All of his content, like 80% of his content, traditionally runs off of leaks, right? Leaks and officials. But
Mhm.
when you're able to push out a video talking about the leaks, in 90 minutes of the leaks getting dropped, there is no way you're not using AI or your video is subpar.
Mhm.
Not only does he use AI, but his videos are subpar. He has the same manga animation running in the entire background of the video, and all he does is pull up the text.
And he
I
doesn't give
could do
his
it
own
in
opinions.
No, not really. If he does, it's something he could type in a script and AI says for him, which he doesn't even have to add anything to the end. He can just put an image of Isagi and Kaiser and talk over that for 2 minutes. And that's how it is. I spend, on average, for a 15-minute video, I'll spend maybe, if I'm talking like from the start of me writing the script to once that video finishes exporting, I probably spend maybe 8 to 10 hours on that
Yeah.
video.
That is a lot of hours.
Dude,
Long.
and I've been uploading. I upload 3 videos a week. I used to do 4, but now I'm back down to 3.
Mhm.
So I'm cramming, right? And I'm putting out way more content than this guy, but he's getting more numbers because he's essentially a leaker. He just takes the leaks off Twitter, makes AI do his audio, has really no content for editing, but he hits 100K for strictly being a leaker. He rarely ever puts his own opinion out there,
Yeah,
if anything, and
that's.
it's all AI.
I
Like,
didn't know you
eh,
you reached 100K. That's crazy.
yeah. So the
But
fact that people want to consider him to be the best Blue Lock content creator is bullcrap. I wouldn't consider him any better than a leaker. If he
mm,
stopped posting leaks, 90% of his followers would not watch him. They
yeah,
wouldn't.
Ooh.
Like
Error
but
I won't
assassin, the
deny
professional hater. Maybe you should make
oh
that a
I
career.
I am. Like I won't admit I won't deny that I'm a little bit of a hypocrite since I cover the leaks. But the leaks are 25% of my content.
Mhm.
Like, I make 2 videos a week talking about Blue Lock. One of them, I make 3 videos a week talking about Blue Lock. One of them is traditionally a chapter review.
Okay.
I then also go live almost every weekend when chapters drop to discuss the chapter and other Blue Lock related topics from around an hour to 2 hours in length.
Yeah.
I then also post on TikTok, posting about the leaks, of course, but I'll also talk about my opinions on stuff that I can't fit into YouTube videos. I would consider that to be a creativity as a content creator. When
Mhm.
all you do is just post leaks and spread nothing of your own opinion when you post the leaks and you can get the video out in 90 minutes, I would not consider you to be anything more than a glorified leaker. And he does not deserve to be the best Blue Lock content creator because of it. He does not deserve to be called that. Hiryo
Is it
deserves it. Hiryo deserves it.
is Hirio the next one?
I believe so. I believe Hiryo is sitting just under 80k.
Okay.
And he's been the most popular for a long while. He's been one of the most popular for a long while. Like,
Yeah.
I would consider him to be the best, personally. His editing style is really, really fluid and fast and really engaging. And I modeled my editing style after him, but he does he does way more stuff than I could think of when I'm doing this stuff. Like, I try to make my intros very flashy and very well edited. He makes his flashier and better edited. I'm like, I don't know how you do that because I never come up with those kinds of things. So
Okay.
I acknowledge him in that regard.
Yeah, I
But I
mainly
modeled
watch.
my editing style after him. That's like what
I
I try
mainly
to do.
watch his live, so I've not really. I don't think I've seen many of his video content. But I mainly
Yeah,
watch
I
him
don't.
when he goes live.
I have been watching lately. I don't know. I just haven't really been interested in watching him. I'm respect the dude. Acknowledge his skills, but I just had really no motivation to watch his stuff. More than likely because I don't speak to him much. Like,
Mm,
I talked, like, Raito, I talked to you, I talked to Raven, I talked to Suki, I talked to Onyx, I talked to Animasu. I'm more likely to watch their content because they're people I talk to directly.
yeah.
But, like, Hidio's content, he got a huge boom when the anime dropped. Like, when the anime
Okay.
dropped, he got almost 100,000 views every video. And it shot him up a lot.
Okay. So did you start after the anime?
So I started last December. Or not
Wow.
last. I
Okay.
started like December of 2023 is when I started committing myself to Blue Lock
Mhm.
content.
Mhm.
And in the year since I started doing that, so from like I hit 1,000 in December and I hit 10,000 in November.
Wow.
And now I'm at
Sick.
and now I'm at almost 12.4 now.
Yeah. Yeah,
When I
that's
was
sick.
strictly talking about Blue Lock. And I've had a couple very good videos go off. Like my best ones, I would probably say the Blue Lock New World trailer just hit 200k views, so
Mhm.
that's something. Do you know about
Mhm.
that? Have you heard about that?
Sorry, I was spacing out.
No, you're good. Blue Lock New
The
World.
the Blue
Blue
Lock
Lock
New
Have you?
World.
New World. It rings a bell. Definitely
So
rings a bell.
that's the fan movie that I'm currently producing.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So that did very well for me and got me up a lot of subs. It got me like 600 subs. It just hit 200k views. If we're not including that, my most popular video is my Sai and Isagi team up theory,
Okay.
which now got disproven because Isagi didn't get a bid from Royale and Tide Rain, which kind of
Yeah.
cucked me
Yeah.
there, pissed me off a bit. When Isagi scored the final goal, that chapter review hit 106k views.
Mhm.
My top 23 predictions video, 109k. And then everything below that is kind of just dispersed, like 50k, 50k, 40k, 30k. Like for a long time, one of my most popular video for a very long time was me hating on the episode Nagi movie.
Oh, I remember.
And
I
see,
had paid
I've not watched it till this day.
I paid for it. Um I paid to go see it day of. Very first showing. I had girlfriend. I asked girlfriend, "Hey, would you do me a huge favor? I'm going to be making a video as soon as I'm done. As soon as this movie's done, I'm starting a video. I'm going to
Mm.
read through the entire episode Nagi manga again. Could you possibly drive while I do this?" She said, "Fine." I read through the whole manga of episode Nagi on the
Wow.
ride there. When we left the movie, I was screaming with anger. I was fuming. So I went home. So I wrote a script in the car. I was writing a script in the car. She dropped me off. I said goodbye. I ran inside, got on my computer, wrote more of the script, that night was when I met Onyx for the first time because Raven introduced me to him, and I sat on a call with him and Raven while I was making this video for 2.5 hours, ranting about why it sucked. I ranted about why the movie sucked longer than the movie's actual runtime. The movie was an hour and a half. I ranted for 2 hours and 30 minutes. No bullshit. No bullshit. I swear to God, I ranted for that long. You can ask them to this day. And it's so funny. I was the first person to ever make a video on episode Nagi because I saw the first showing of it in America. And a week before it dropped, I made a video saying this movie's gonna be great.
Wow.
And the entire video was me. I'm not doing a fancy intro. I'm not doing any of this crap. This movie sucked absolute balls. So I ranted and ranted and ranted. And I was so pissed I didn't even get any. I barely got any footage from the movie. The only thing I did was get the end credit scene where they teased the U20 team for some fucking reason.
Yeah, and Santetsu was there.
Yeah. Like, that's pretty much it. I ranted and I ranted and I ranted and I was fuming.
Yeah, that's
you could like
crazy.
feel the anger just like through the video. We're just like, ooh, this guy.
It wasn't even a good video. My video was shit because I finished it an hour before I uploaded it. I spent all night working on it. Like, I wrote the script and then I wrote the script, recorded the audio, and edited it all from, like, I think we went to go see it at like 9 o'clock. The movie dropped. I got home at like 11. I wrote my script, rented them till like 1:30, and then I edited till like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning ish, and then uploaded it, and then passed out for like 2 hours, and then woke up at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Like it.
Yeah, but
it
you
was
got
not very
lots of views and subs from it, so I'm sure it was worth it.
The
Here, how many
numbers
did I
you get
actually
are
gain from it?
crazy though.
I'm curious. How much did I actually go up from it? I went up. I went up just under 100, so I went up 97.
Okay.
Wow, that's literally.
But the numbers you're getting are ridiculous. Like I've barely broken, like I've got shorts that have barely broken 10K, and my videos, I think the highest one is like 6K, something like that.
I
And you're doing
I think the
50s
issue
like
comes from.
consistently.
I will say I think the issue comes from your thumbnails,
Oh,
and
is it?
I 100% think that's what it is. Like, even
Okay.
Raven, who uses an avatar, doesn't put him in his thumbnails. And a lot of your chapter
Ah,
reviews are coming out like a
late.
week after the
Yeah,
like a week
yeah,
after the chapter officially drops. So no one's really gonna
yeah,
watch it.
yeah. To be
Like,
fair, chapter reviews. I, at some point I was contemplating stopping doing chapter reviews so I can focus on like my other stuff, the other stuff that I actually want to do.
oh
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, but my editing just takes so long, and I don't have like enough time to edit that
Hey
I
man,
feel I need
if
to
you want
keep
if you
doing
want
the.
to pay me, I'll do it. You pay me, I'll do it. I do my I do editing
How
for
much?
people.
What are your rates?
Uh, I do 40 as a base, and then I do $5 for every minute over 7.
Okay.
So
Okay. Oh, so every minute that the
if it's
videos.
between a second long to 7 minutes, I charge 40. Everything like 8 minutes will be 45, 9 minutes
Mm-hmm.
is 50. That's how I do it for every video, and that's how I've been doing it. Just because
Okay.
I know my quality of editing and I know how long it takes, and I'm
Yeah.
also pulling time away from my own content to do it. So I want to make it definitely, um,
Worth it. Yeah.
like, yeah,
No, that's sick. That's sick.
um, that's usually what I do. Because I usually will generate that much from my own content. So I'm like, if I'm making another video, I want it to generate. It's going to generate the same amount as I would get from the video. I'm going to charge that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how I
No.
think about it.
I if I'm to be honest, at some point I wanna switch to recorded videos. So you know, face recordings at some
No,
point.
yeah, I got you.
Uh,
You'll need a good webcam and a good background
that's
setup, though.
that's the thing. That's what I don't have at the moment. Um,
You could use a
and
green screen if you have that. A green screen could
yeah,
work.
it's just it's just like I need to prioritize it, and because I just recently had a kid and stuff, a lot of
Oh yeah, of
my
course.
resources are going towards that. But yeah, at some point I'm going to be switching to face recordings anyways. Um, just probably after I've moved out of this current place though, because this current place is kind of small.
I gotcha. But yeah, I won't keep you guys any longer on this. No, I won't keep us holding here because I just can kind of drag in this with conversation.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's been good, man. It's been good. Like we was about to wrap up about 20 minutes ago, but you know how it always goes.
Yeah, we ranted about Karasu for 45 minutes to extend the time.
But yeah, no,
Um,
go on.
yeah, I was gonna say, tomorrow I'm doing my own stream where I'm gonna be reacting to people's videos that they send in relation to Blue Lock.
Hmm.
So I'll be reacting, giving my thoughts on the video. So if you guys
Okay.
have any videos you want me to react to and give my thoughts on, send them into the Discord, and
I've got
I'll pull
It
them.
does,
I've got no proper Blue Lock videos. Nothing of it.
does that
Well,
include
not just
like
yours, but any ones that you see that you're like, oh, this would be interesting.
TikToks and stuff or
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Yeah, I'll react to those.
Yeah, if I find some, I'll definitely send it through. Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I thought my mic cut out. But
No, you're
yes,
good.
guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for chilling with us.
No
Um,
worries.
yep. I mean, for me and deducing, it's what 1 a.m. now, so probably go to
Yep,
sleep.
5 past.
Jeez, it is 9 o'clock for me.
Oh, you're nice, but you're probably gonna be editing another video now, aren't you?
Uh, I could. I have an ego and Noah theory video I could do, but I think I'm
Ooh,
gonna.
Ooh, that is sick.
that's spicy.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, guys, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope to see you again next week.
Of
Thanks,
course.
OP, with all your comments and everyone else that commented as well. Thanks to Juicing, thanks Aero for joining me, and
Thank you for
Thanks for
inviting me,
having
brother.
us.
yeah, no worries, guys, and take care. God bless, guys.